everyone. There we go, I'm here. How's everyone doing today? And yes, whoever commented, this is very calming music. It's one of my favourite soundtracks. It's him. It's kind of crazy, guys. Welcome to the final stream of 2024. Honestly, mental. This year's gone by so fast. Also, would you guys believe me if I said that the gameplay that you've been watching in the background is Sonic Generations? Like, it's not even Sonic Unleashed. Like, would you guys believe me if I genuinely told you that? Oh, I don't know if anyone will, to be honest. Wait, what? Yeah, like, the gameplay you're looking at in the background is Sonic Generations. Like, it's not Unleashed at all. The beauty of modding on PC, it's a tremendous thing. Yeah, let's get up the videos that I want to actually watch. Because there's been a few, actually. There's been a few Sonic Colors remasters as well. Like, attempts to remaster Sonic Colors. Which is actually pretty awesome. Alright, so this is the first one I want us to watch yet. Hey Dawn, how you doing, my darling? I don't recognize your name, so you must be new here. It's good to have you here. But yeah, everyone get your drinks. We're going to be reacting to controversial Sonic X Shadow Generations takes. Also, if you guys have a specific video you want me to react to, just let me know and maybe I'll make it a thing.
Sonic X Shadow Generations, I still hate that name, released in 2024 for 8th and 9th gen consoles as well as PC. It was met with overwhelming acclaim from both critics and fans alike. And so was Sonic Frontiers.
That's because I genuinely don't watch live streams. Well, I feel very flattered that you're watching mine, he says as he talks with his mouth full. Still, it's full of chocolate and not anything else, not anything suspicious. Say hello to Puffer as well.
Yeah, y'all know me. I'm on the more skeptical side of the Sonic fanbase, kinda like Jebzone, except my voice puts insomniacs to sleep. When leaks started coming out about a Sonic Generations remaster, I was thoroughly confused. I mean, the game was already on Steam and played just fine, while Sonic Unleashed was still stuck on 7th gen consoles.
Facts. We should have got Sonic Unleashed instead of Sonic X Shadow Generations. To be honest, like, I would have preferred Sonic Unleashed remastered, but it is what it is. I'm a sub of yours. Well, it's good to have you here, my dear.
And when that trailer came out revealing a Shadow campaign, my expectations were lowered even further upon realizing that it would use the Frontiers engine instead of the Generations one. But now, here we are. The game's been out for months, everyone has spoken their piece, and not a single soul gives a damn about this topic anymore, so now's the perfect time for Spotman to give his 2 cents. Quick heads up, some of the footage in this video will be a little lower quality than you're hopefully used to seeing on this channel, and that's because it was taken from my Twitch streams.
Sonic, what are you Sonic, what are you doing?
I did replay as much of the game as I could to get cleaner footage.
Not gonna lie, I'll be completely honest. I don't like the Frontiers engine. I don't. I prefer the Generations. Like, I prefer... this may be a hot take, but I'll say it anyways. I think Sonic Generations is better than Shadow Generations. To be honest. Like, it just feels so much better for me. And it has better content as well. So, I just prefer Sonic Generations, to be honest.
But then Forza Horizon 4 went on sale for like $12, so I had to make room on my hard drive, you know, priorities. Whoa! So, with all
That's me when I'm driving home from work.
that preamble out of the way, sit back, grab your pitchfork, and relax. This is my review of Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Let's hear it.
Upon launching Sonic X Shadow Generations, you're given two choices, Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations.
Oh my god! Oh,
It's a pretty slick little menu until you hit start and the entire thing closes to launch a separate executable, but whatever. Here we are in Sonic Generations once again. I've already covered this game in a previous video, which I'll link to at the end of this one, so we'll just be focusing on notable.
Yeah, there's more content, but to be fair, I'm a sucker for Shadow. I mean, that's fair enough, I can understand that, but it's like, I just prefer controlling Sonic. Like, this gameplay
Changes in this
looks
re-release.
way
So
more
if you
appealing
watch
than
my
the
Sonic
Shadow
Colors
Generations
Ultimate video,
gameplay.
will likely be curious if this is another botched porting job, and I'm pleased and
Like,
surprised
to me,
to
at
report
least.
that this is not the case. In fact, if the game booting from a different EXE didn't already tip you off, this is pretty much just a
I don't know,
modified version of
I don't like how slow Shadow is in Shadow Generations. Like, his physics don't feel right. He just feels way too slow. I don't like it as much.
PC edition of Generations. No squirrels were blinded in the making of this game, thankfully. The video and control settings are all integrated into the game proper now, so no more having to put up with that stupid long.
That is one thing I really like about this game, though. The fact that you could map the controls to be like Generations or like Frontiers. I do really like that. Especially since Frontiers probably was quite a lot of people's, like, first Sonic game. Like, if you think about it, like, Frontiers probably was, like, the first Sonic game for a lot of fans. Because it was, like, the first, like, open world one, so it'd be, like, more accessible.
Launcher from the original version. Steam Deck users rejoice. Other than that, there's not much to say about the port job itself. It's Sonic Generations, and it works. So let's move on to the new additions in this.
To be completely honest, I think the only, like, he's probably going to talk about them, but, like, I think the only new things to Sonic Generations is, like, the drop dash for both classic and modern Sonic. I think that's probably it.
Re-release. Both classic and modern Sonic now sport the drop dash from Sonic Mania.
Yeah, there it is.
Supposed to bring the game more in line with the past few entries in the series. Classics is fine, albeit pretty situational since the level
Hot take, I like Team Sonic Racing more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Holy shit. That is such a hot take, but honestly I respect it, because like, the Sonic Team Racing was crossplay. No, it wasn't crossplay, it was cross-platform. So honestly I can respect that. But yeah, it's good to have you here, Dawn. Make yourself at home. Sadly, I never played Frontiers. I don't really rep Frontiers. Like, the problem for Frontiers is that it just takes far too long to do anything, because it's a different kind of game. But again, that's more of a me issue. Remember me? Oh, you've shown your face. Okay, hello. I just live rent-free in your head, apparently, Trina. You can't take the L. You have to show up.
design wasn't
Your first ever Sonic game was Sonic Colors. Respect.
built around it, but Moderns is completely useless.
My first ever Sonic game was Heroes.
You can only activate it when coming out of an air dash, which feels
It was either Heroes or it was the Wii version of Unleashed. I can't remember. I played both at like the same time.
awkward, and since you never run out of boost in this game, there's really no scenario where you're gonna find yourself needing it. What's even weirder about the drop dash in this game is how inconsistent it is. Classic Sonic can drop dash in levels, but not in the hub. Modern Sonic can drop dash in both the levels and the hub, but neither of them can drop dash in very specific sections. Weirder still is—
See, like, I think the drop dash is just a bit of a pointless addition to this game. Like, to be honest. Don't know what just happened to my camera. I, like, flashed in and out for a split second there. Like, the drop dash was a cool addition, but it just felt pointless, because it was less powerful than classic Sonic's spin dash, and it was also less powerful than the boost, so it was kind of pointless, but it was cool to have, I guess.
the fact that
Imagine if Sonic was in Mario Kart, that'd be cool.
Classic's drop dash is a skill that can be unequipped, while Modern's is a permanent fixture of his moveset. Annoying.
Drop dash sucks in Gen. Yeah, exactly, like, it was way better in Frontiers.
strange, but relatively harmless in the grand scheme of things. I just think it's a little odd. This re-release also does away with the live system, though unlike Sonic Colors Ultimate, you can turn it back on if you so desire. For some reason, the option to buy extra lives is still—
Like, the only reason I can imagine... The only reason why I can justify the drop dash is if it's, like, you transition a drop dash into the boost, maybe? But even then, it's like... I don't know. I feel like it would be more useful in boss fights. Like, maybe against Metal Sonic, maybe? But even then, it's like, not really. Your first was Sonic and the Secret Rings. Fucking hell. It's a miracle that you're even a Sonic fan. Frontiers is just different. Yeah, it's different. It's exactly it. Mine was the demo for Sonic Advance. Damn. Respect. What do you think of Horizon Forbidden West? It's just a fantasy game. Like, it's just... The Horizon franchise is just one of the most mid franchises I've ever seen. So the fact that it's like Sony's like golden egg is kind of pathetic, if I'm honest. Like, it's alright, but it doesn't do anything special. You know? Like, they're just perfectly well-made games, perfectly acceptable, but they're not my thing. They don't do anything they don't do anything special. I much prefer Elden Ring, to be honest. Which came out the same year, I think.
Lives off, and instead of fixing this, Sonic Team just tacked on a message telling you to please ignore it.
I feel like the drop dash needed to be faster and more useful. Yeah, I agree. Like, could you imagine if the drop dash was as OP as classic Sonic's spin dash? Like, you'd never not use it. Like, it would be sick. It's like, I feel like the drop dash should be... To be honest, I don't even think modern Sonic should have the drop dash, like, in Generations. Like, in Frontiers it made more sense, but in Generations it just doesn't work as well.
So back. There's also skins, 2 of them to be exact. An adventure skin for modern Sonic, which you could only get if you pre-ordered the game, and a Sonic Jam skin for classic Sonic, which you have to pay extra for. Neither of these skins...
See, that's one thing that I really miss. I feel as though they should have modded I feel like they should have done Generations so that you could change Sonic to look however you wanted. You know? Like, imagine, like, Sonic with his, like, Secret Rings, like, model. Or his 06 model. Or something like that. Or his Adventure 2 model. I think that would have been cool. Especially since they're going with the whole, like, Generations thing. I'm kind of glad the lives are... Yeah, I kind of agree.
Skins did the bare minimum of having a unique supersonic model or even a ball form model, and considering that this is paid DLC, I think that's
I'm not too sure how I feel about there, like, no longer being lives in Sonic games. It's not like a huge change, but I don't know.
Ridiculous. Overall though, these additions, however low effort they may be, don't hinder the game in any major way. The actual gameplay here is largely untouched, and anything that's...
Like, I feel like that's one of the things that I like about just platformers. Yeah, like, I don't like the fact that lives are gone. 'Cause it's like, that's one thing that helps you get better at a game. It's like, you get better at a game, your life count goes up. You're relatively new to the game, or, you know, you're struggling, your life count will go down. It encourages you to get better. And it's like, it's just such an established feature. Like, I don't know why be nice to me. Well, if you're not a twat, then I will be nice to you. But if you're just an obnoxious fuck who speaks in broken English, even though I know for a fact you can speak English, then you're just gonna piss me off, and then you can get the fuck out. It's really not hard to understand. Like, everyone else here understands how to speak like a normal human.
Does add...
Fucking Puffer can speak better English than you, and he's not even a human.
Such as the collectible Chow that I will not talk about because I don't care about Chow, are completely optional and can be easily ignored. What I can't so easily ignore is the rewritten dialogue.
Oh Jesus, the rewritten dialogue. See, like, I like the spin dash in Frontiers when you don't have the power boost. Like, when you don't have the power boost, the drop dash is actually really good. But then you get the power boost, and it's like, okay, well, it's just obsolete. Especially since with the Psy loop, you can do, like, the figure of 8, and then you can just boost forever for, like, 30 seconds or something like that. Like, it's just way more powerful. Like, the drop dash is decent in stages, but only until you S-rank all of them, and then you just unlock the power boost in all of the cyberspace levels. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. Is Death Battle even good? I mean, Death Battle puts a lot of work into their episodes, it's just that they don't do very good research.
The original script for Sonic Generations wasn't anything special, seeing as it released smack dab in the middle of the meta era, and plenty of fans argue it's one of the weakest parts.
Especially since, with the live system, that's one of the most iconic things in a Sonic game. Getting 100 rings and getting a life.
Of the game, myself included. Some of these fans were excited to hear that Ian Flynn would be put at the helm for a rewrite, but after Sonic Frontiers, I was a little wary, and unfortunately, I think I was right to be. This new iteration of Generations script features all of the iconic Ianisms that plagued Frontiers' story, not least of which is the shoehorned reference humor. We're not traveling through time and space, we're only traveling through time. The Time Stones? Now, I'm not against
Yeah, I do agree. Some of the dialogue was a bit forced. But it's not that big of an issue.
Any and all forms of reference humor. In fact, the original Sonic Generations had plenty of it. The key difference here is how it's executed. Pontac and Graf weren't Sonic fans like Ian, but for all of their faults, it was always clear to me that they did their homework before writing for this game.
This chemical plant feels familiar. I'd never forget a smell like this. And that pink water makes me really nervous for some reason.
While I don't think the writing in the original was great per se, I can at least appreciate its subtle approach to these references. Ian Flynn's approach, meanwhile...
This is definitely the chemical plant, but we're not remotely on West Side Island.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah, both versions have meta.
Yeah, I kind of get what he means. Like, there's definitely a way to do references. I see your perspective on lives. I respectfully disagree. In modern games, lives are kind of meaningless. Why do you think that? I'm genuinely curious. Like, why do you think that lives are meaningless? Because I think it's a case-by-case, like, study. So, like, if we're comparing two platformers, I think that lives in Sonic the Hedgehog makes way more sense than lives in Crash Bandicoot, for example. Because, like, with Crash... like, the levels are actively based around, like, playing them a lot for, like, replayability. Like, you have to get all the boxes, you have to do, like, the optional hard modes, you have to get, like, the gems, the crystals, the relics. I don't know if they have those in the recent games. But, like, the thing with those games is that you're kind of incentivized to go out of your way to do all of the annoying shit that is intentionally made to be difficult for a reason. So, like, having lives in that sense... So, like, I don't think having lives in the newer Crash games is an issue, but, like, I think having lives in Sonic is actually good, because it's, like, it makes rings, like, you actually want to collect rings, because every time you get 100 of them, you get an extra life. It's, like, you can just find lives normally. I don't know, I think it just takes something away from the actual gameplay.
Humor, but while one of them feels natural and self-aware, the other just name-drops random Sonic buzzwords as if to jingle keys in front of the fans' faces. The mere fact that I'm praising Pontac and Graf, the guys who have practically become a meme on this channel for how much crap I give them, speaks volumes of just how—
Trini, why are you being a fucking idiot? Like, you're just deliberately speaking in broken English just to piss me off. Like, I didn't ban you from the stream, but, like, I will ban you if you don't stop. Because at the end of the day, you're just such a dick. Like, just speak normal English. I know that you are English. Like, it's just really annoying at this point. Like, you're not funny, you're not clever, just speak English. I think the reason Ian did it was because it's kind of odd the characters didn't recognize the chemical plant or Green Hill. I mean, they did recognize it, but... because you gotta keep in mind as well, it's like, they've gone on so many adventures that they probably just didn't, like, it's been that long canonically since they've actually been to Chemical Plant. They probably did, unironically, like, I don't want to say they forgot it, that's not the right word, but, like, maybe they did just, well, forget it, I suppose. Like, they've been on that many adventures, you know, maybe they did, it's just in the back of their mind kind of thing. In all honesty, when we started to be able to save our games, I don't think lives really live up. Like, back in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, let us save our games, both live and continues became meaningless. I mean, I guess. But, like, if you saved the game when you were on one life, it's like, you'd still have one life. So it's like, you'd only get one death, and then you have to, like, exit without saving. Which effectively, operated the same as a game over. It's like you were going back to where you started, except in this, like, where you started is from your save file, so it's like, it kind of does the same thing, doesn't it? How long is the Sonic timeline? Fucking massive, mate.
How low this rewrite has set the bar. What irks me even more is that this new script makes absolutely no attempt to fix any of the actual problems people had with the original. The plot is the same, the characters are just as shallow, and the general tone is unchanged. It's just that now—
Hey Sandman, how you doing? How was Sonic 3? Really good. Like, if you're a long-time fan of the series, you'll get all of the references and you'll have a fucking field day, like, just like, listening out for them.
One thing it had going for it, the humor, has now been butchered too. We're so back. Overall, Sonic Generations in this collection is fine.
I really like the music that they're using.
Play additions are largely harmless, and there's some nice quality of life stuff here too. And while I do have major gripes with the rewritten script, I will concede that nobody really plays this game for the story anyway, so it can only really matter so much. Still, I can't help but lament the missed opportunity to make the story good enough that people don't skip the cutscenes every time, but hey, what can you do? It's Sonic Generations, it plays fine, and it's $30 more.
See, like, one thing that I think he didn't mention, which I will mention, you guys, longtime fans of the YouTube channel, you will know that I kind of have, like, the PC master race mindset, especially when people try trash on PC gaming. But it's like, one thing that Sonic X Shadow Generations does is it allows console players, not too sure about the Switch, but it does allow console players to play Sonic Generations at 60 FPS. Which is something that you couldn't do before, like you were capped at 30 FPS. And that was kind of like one of the main selling points of the PC version. Not just like mod support and also like the better graphics, but also 60 FPS. So it's like, that is, if you're on console at least, there is an incentive to get Sonic Generations like with Shadow Remastered. You know, because it's like you get like, you don't get mods unfortunately, but it's like you still get— Oh shit.
Final donation of 2024.
Nick with the Nick with the $5. Final donation of 2024 for me. I'm happy to join these live streams. You are a genuine guy, and you're one of my favorite YouTubers of the year. Well, thank you very much. It really means a lot. Yeah, thank you very much for the donation, honestly. And I saw your message earlier. The little guy passed on the message that you have a killing floor or something. So I'll be looking forward to playing that with you if you like. It's 6 players after all, we may as well. But yeah, so like, that's one of the reasons why I think that Sonic Generations is actually worth getting, if you're on console, because obviously, like, you get, like, the updated performance kind of thing. For PC, there wasn't really a point in it, aside from, like, the updated dialogue, but it's like, that kind of was up and down and all around, so it's like, really, the only reason I got the game was for Shadow Generations, to be honest.
That brings us to the other half of this package, Shadow Generations. Despite what the game's marketing would have you believe, this isn't really an expansion of Generations as much as it is a separate thing entirely. I was pretty disappointed to learn this, and even more disappointed when I saw the trailer that looked exactly like Sonic Frontier's cyberspace gameplay, but hey, I'll give it a chance. Other people seem to be enjoying it.
I'll be honest, I had a similar issue with the game. Like, I genuinely thought the gameplay that they showed in trailers looked fucking terrible. Like, when they showed, like, was it, like, the first minute of Space Colony Arc? And it just didn't look all that good. And I was very nervous. I was like, guys, prepare for another Sonic Forces. You know, I was genuinely nervous. Thankfully, I was mostly proven wrong. Like, the level design is actually great. The issue for me is just controlling Shadow. Like, for me, like, his momentum is almost non-existent, and he's way too slow. But he does control relatively well. Like, handling Shadow and moving him around in a 3D space is actually pretty good. It's just, like, he's a bit too slow, there's no momentum, and I also have issues with the homing attack. Other than that, though, it's really good.
So, let's see what Shadow Generations is all about. Shadow is on the Space Colony Arc for some reason. Go watch the funny YouTube video to find out more. When Black Doom from Shadow the Hedgehog suddenly shows up. See, the Time Eater's space-time shenanigans ended up
See, like, the biggest issue that I have with this game's story is the fact that they retread a character arc that hasn't been a thing for years. Like, they retread the whole, like, Shadow's anger, which I think was a really poor choice. Like, I really don't like that they did that. Because, like, I like the story. Like, if you don't have any context, and this is, like, your first Sonic game, you'll probably really enjoy the story. Because it's well written and it is what it is. Like, there's a couple of really good emotional moments. But it's like, he already left his anger behind, like, years ago. So I just don't understand why they'd, like, revisit it. I don't know.
Up giving this guy a new lease on life, and now he wants to turn Shadow into the ultimate weapon and get him on his side. Shadow has to resist Black Doom's alien Riz while wrestling with the thought of losing Gerald and Maria again, who also happen to be brought into the mix. It's a simple concept, but I'm pleasantly surprised to say that it's executed pretty decently. The plot has emotional stakes.
And I think the biggest issue with this game is also just the issue with Shadow, where it's like, anger can always come back, but it didn't though. It's like in 06, they explored Shadow's anger, where it's like Mephiles was like, yeah, like, look at these people, they will always fear you. And Shadow, like, didn't give in to his anger. He was like, he said, if the world chooses to become my enemy, I'll fight like I always have. It's like, I don't know why they would revisit his anger. It's, I don't know. Because, like, and especially since 06 actually gave Shadow a pretty good character arc, where he was almost like a mentor figure to Silver. Where it's like Silver in 06 was very similar to Shadow in Adventure 2. Where it's like he was filled with anger, it's like he had like a level of naivety. Naivety, is that a word? He was naive. And it's like Shadow was more calm, collective. You know, he had a bit of banter with Sonic here and there. But it's like he was, like, in control. So it's like, I don't know why years later they'd revisit his anger. It just seemed like an out-of-place decision for me, anyways.
The characters are represented well, and the writing is genuine.
While true, the game only takes place from Shadow's perspective after Shadow 05. Shadow doesn't remember 06. Well, yeah, I know that Shadow wouldn't remember 06, but, like, surely his emotional state would still be the same.
Genuinely good.
Like, to put it into context how far he'd moved on from his anger, it's like, during the events of 06, he was working for Gun. Like, the organization that killed Maria was going to execute Gerald and was hunting him down. It's like,
good at times, proving that Ian Flynn can.
I get that Shadow wouldn't remember it, but like, he'd surely still be at an emotional point.
Good stories. Speaking of the story, the cutscene animation is really good for a modern Sonic game. In fact, it's shockingly good at times. Like, was I transported to an alternate universe where Sonic Team hires actual animators? Shadow especially.
Yeah, the cutscenes look really fucking good in this game.
So
way better than Frontiers.
Expressive and full of life, but in a subtle way that doesn't sacrifice his stoic demeanor. The voice acting, as to be expected with these modern games, is where I'm a little mixed.
Like, I want every single Sonic game, for like the cutscenes from this point on, to be like this game. I was so impressed with the cutscenes.
I don't think I've ever fully appreciated Kirk Thornton as Shadow until playing this game. I know people have varying opinions on this guy, but I personally think he kills it as Shadow. He walks a fine line between David Humphrey and Jason Griffith's takes on the character, taking cues from both while putting his own spin on it. I love it. Roger Craig Smith voices Sonic for a couple brief scenes here, and he's back to the nasally, bratty version of the character heard pre-Frontiers. I've discussed at length in several previous videos why I think he's ill-cast, so I won't belabor the point in this one, but I will give credit to the voice directors for not making him do a constipated Batman impression like his previous outing.
Oh boy. What do you think of that? Because, to be fair, there are a lot of people that don't like Roger Craig Smith as Sonic. But man, I think he was way better in Frontiers. So the fact that he's like, oh, he just did a Batman impression. Which is actually quite ironic, because Roger Craig Smith has voiced Batman in the past. Like, I know that Roger Craig Smith was Batman in Arkham Origins and Arkham Shadow, but, like, either way. See, like, on one hand, I understand, like, revisiting Shadow's trauma, because at the end of the day, it's like some shit, like, Shadow probably never truly got over, like, Maria's death. He probably just learned how to, like, deal with it a little bit better. It's kind of like how, like, in your life, for example, it's like, you never truly get over, like, a death in the family, but it's like, you like, learn to deal with it. But I think the bigger issue is, it kind of highlights just how limited Shadow actually is in the franchise. It's like, compare that to Sonic, where it's like, every single game, he's doing something new. It's adding to his, like, history. It's adding to his character. Not all the time, but sometimes it adds to his character. Like in Unleashed, in Black Knight, Secret Rings especially, those 3 games. They add to his character. But it's like with Shadow, it's like we're just replaying like his past all the time. I would really like it if Shadow had like original, like new, new stuff, really. Like, if Shadow had a game that was like Unleashed, where he had a new companion, completely new, he had, you know, maybe Rouge and Omega and Sonic are there, you know, have cameos, but for the most part, it's a completely new game where Shadow can just be himself, he can maybe inspire people, he can grow in the process, and he can meet new people. I think that would be fantastic, just to develop Shadow the Hedgehog. But the problem for me is that it's just replaying his past all the time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Roger is better than Ben Schwartz. I really like Ben Schwartz, I'll be honest. I really like it. I like this new Sonic.
One else, they're fine, I guess. Gerald sounds exactly like Eggman, Rouge's delivery is painfully awkward, Maria sounds like a mouse getting strangled, and Black Doom sounds like Black Doom. The in-game presentation is largely on par with Frontiers, but the visual design is a little more cohesive and polished this time. There is some fantastic spectacle in Shadow Generations, with the Black Doom sections and their Doctor Strange-esque reality warping especially being a highlight. The environments in general are a lot more pleasing this time around.
Like something new for Shadow, a new arc, a new yeah, like, exactly, just give him new things to do. Like Shadow the Hedgehog shouldn't just be limited to his past, like, he should have, like, new shit. Well, not necessarily, like, new shit, but, like, I'm not saying that he should just ditch his past and, like, embrace new shit, but, like, it feels like all we get for Shadow is just retreads of his past. It's like, it'd be good if, like, he got, like, new things.
With the art style largely returning to how it was in, well, Generations, go figure. Though while the environments look great, I do.
You can see what I look like without my glasses. I look fucking hideous. How does Peter Parker do it?
Celebrated Sonic's history, so you'd think that Shadow Generations would celebrate Shadow's history, right? Well, most of the levels here do return from games that technically featured him, but I have to question some of the choices made here. The game opens with Final Rush instead of—
This is an issue that I had in my video as well. Like, the level choices were so weird for this game. It's like, obviously, Final Space Colony Arc is pretty much just Final Rush and Final Chase combined, which, it makes sense. But it's like, the level choices were just so odd. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't have chosen, like, Rail Canyon, for example, it's like, Egg Fleet was right there. Or, like, Final Fortress. Like, I feel like those would have been better choices for, like, a Shadow game. Especially with how many clones were actually on, like, the Egg Fleet. It's like, Kingdom Valley? Really? I wouldn't associate that with being a Shadow level. Like, I associate that level more with Sonic, because that's when Elise dies and it, like, affects him. Spoilers. Yeah, spoilers for a nearly 20-year-old game. I feel as though, what level would match... Like, maybe Flame Core or Dusty Desert for Shadow? Or maybe Aquatic Base, because that's, like, the level in the past. And then for Sonic Forces, it's like Sunset Heights. I guess? It's, like, one of the only levels in his, like, mini DLC, but, like... I don't know. And then they chose a level from Frontiers where he's literally not even in the game, so I don't know why they did that.
a final chase, and the penultimate level is Chaos Island from Sonic Frontiers.
And again, like, it's as, Jason and I said in my video as well, like, there were no levels from his own game. It's like, I know they kind of have cameos, like when, like, for example, you'll play through, like, Real Canyon and then Black Doom will, like, swap it over, so it's, like, all trippy and shit. It kind of has level aesthetics from his solo game, but just not enough.
A game that Shadow wasn't even in. Most egregious of all, though, is the fact that there is not a single level from Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, how? What makes this whole thing even more bizarre is
Now you look fine. Thanks, Andrea. Maria doesn't sound like a mouse. Oh yeah, he said that, didn't he? That's weird. Bench Forts is worse than Roger, who's worse than Great Jason, who's worse than Jaleel White. Which one was Jaleel White? Was he Sonic Prime? That doesn't, like, that's the only thing I can think of. Was that Sonic Prime? Probably something completely different. It's gonna be like the Sonic Saturn show or something. They just used Chaos Island because they had the assets. Yeah, and
constant reuse.
It's like, I get why they would link it to Shadow because of the whole Chaos thing, but it's like, he wasn't even in the fucking game.
Radical Highway. Yeah, sure, it's essentially Shadow's version of Green Hill, being his first level in his first game, so it makes sense that it's here, but does it need to be here this much? It rears its ugly head every single time Black Doom rears his, and it even uses the same crappy remix of the song every time. Oh, right, the music. I'm probably digging my own grave with these Sonic music takes at this point, but personally, I don't like it. Sonic Generations OST.
To be honest, I actually kind of agree. Like, the Shadow Generations soundtrack didn't wow me. There was a couple of really good ones. Like, make no mistake, I really liked Kingdom Valley, I liked Real Canyon. Sunset Heights was actually pretty good. Way better than the original. I don't know. I definitely preferred Sonic Generations soundtrack, like 100%.
Was one of my favorites in the whole series, featuring pleasant and creative renditions of the original level themes for both modern and classic Sonic to suit their respective styles. Shadow Generations
popularity contest, clearly they were ones they wanted to do originally. It's like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't really make sense for Shadow. I don't know, because it's like, yeah, the original levels in Generations, it's like, it was like the most popular levels that they chose to do. But they actually, like, made sense for Sonic. The only one that I don't think made sense was Crisis City. Maybe. And maybe Sky Sanctuary, because I kind of associate that more with Knuckles. But it's like, most of the... It's like, you can't look at City Escape, for example, and tell me that that doesn't perfectly match Sonic. Same with, like, Green Hill or, like, Speed Highway. Rooftop Run. It's like, most of the levels match Sonic. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I concur with Sandman. Wait, what did you say? Shadow Generations is the Revelations, Black Ops 3 Zombies of Sonic, reusing assets and reusing storylines. I guess.
Generations OST, on the other hand, butchers
That's actually a really good way of looking at it.
these iconic themes with some of the most blatantly low-effort EDM dubstep slop I have ever heard from this series. I think I'm starting to hear what people who hated Force's soundtrack heard. If we're going all in with the 2000s edge that Shadow is known for, why not have an industrial metal sound? Wasn't that Shadow's whole thing? You know, throw it all away, I am all of me, all hail Shadow, that kind of sound? No?
I mean, to be fair, All Hail Shadow was in the final boss, so...
Okay.
And also, technically, all of those songs are in the game. Because you can, just like the original Generations, you can, like, swap the level themes to listen to, like, iconic songs from Sonic and Shadow's past. Also, you can listen to the Frontiers Titan themes in this game, which automatically is a massive W.
That finally brings us to gameplay, and I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. This is, for all intents and purposes, Sonic Frontiers 2. Well, maybe
Kind of.
Sonic Frontiers 1.5 would be a more accurate moniker. There's only one open zone as opposed to 5, and the progression is a lot more linear. If you ask me though, I actually prefer things this way. While the experience is pretty short overall, I would rather that be the case than the game being so bloated that it completely discourages return playthroughs. Anyway,
I 100% agree with that take. Like, there are some moments in Sonic Frontiers that just make me never want to play the game again. on Kronos Island, it was that fucking puzzle he just showed there. On Ares Island, it was... Actually, Ares Island didn't have anything that made me want to hate the game. Chaos Island, it was that freaking pinball minigame. We had to get like 5 million score, and you only had 3 lives. Like, that was so crap. And then for Ornos Island, it was just how many memory tokens you needed. Like, there are some moments in Frontiers that make me really never want to play the game ever again. And then you have Final Horizons, which is just its own kettle of fish. Like, that Titans, like, I never want to replay Final Horizons as ever again.
Way with its linear structure.
So it's like, I agree with him, but it's also, there's moments in Shadow Generations that don't make me want to play it again. Like, for how many bloody challenges you have to do. It's like, you have to do, like, 2 for every act. Or it feels like that. Where it's like, you have, like, Space Colony Arc, you have Act 1, Act 2. You need to do, like, 4 challenges for the entire thing. Meaning that only a third of the game is actually these Meaning that only a third of the game is actually these really high quality stages that I think are great. But the other, like, 2/3 of the time, you're just doing these tiny ass challenges where it's like, oh, collect 100 rings, and the stage is like 45 seconds long. It's like, okay. I would have preferred like an Act 3 that was actually really good quality, and we could have got rid of these fucking challenges. And it's like, I preferred how the challenges were in the original generations. It's like, I didn't like them there, like, it felt like padding, but at the very least, you had to do less of them, you could choose which one you did, and you could choose which Sonic you played as to do them. It's like, the challenges were just made way worse in this game.
The main action stages and
it's annoying because the challenges aren't necessarily bad, it's just, they're just nowhere near as good as the actual levels. It's like, I'd rather be playing the levels.
Are all required, which makes sense. However,
it's like the challenges are like a 5 out of 10, but the actual levels are like a 9.5 out of 10.
Acts also return from Sonic Generations. What made the challenge acts nice in the base game is that you only have to complete one of them for each zone, and there's enough wiggle room to where you can completely avoid any challenges you don't like. In what I can only assume is an attempt to pad out the runtime, Shadow Generations makes all of these required. Why?
The Vector Bat Challenge? Yeah, that one was optional though. It's like, the only mandatory ones, it's basically just like... I can't remember, like, the same one that I did all the time was, like, replaying the stage as fast as you could, and you have to, like, beat, like, it's basically just a time trial, where you have to beat, like, your opponent. It's like, replaying the same stage that I love, again, with different music. Yep, I'll do it. It's like...
I mean, there are less of them, and there aren't any that quite reach the low lows that the original game did.
It's like, yeah, it's technically reusing content, but it's reusing high level of... It's reusing high quality content. It's like, I don't mind doing it if I absolutely have to. I'd prefer that over this shit.
But it still really irks me, and it reminds me of Sonic Colors in a negative way. Actually, this game takes a lot of cues from Sonic Colors, but we'll talk about that in a second. The controls are...
Does this game take a lot of cues from Sonic Colors? If anything, I think it takes a lot of cues from Forces.
Improved from Frontiers, but while many are lauding them as the best the series has ever seen, I disagree, to put it politely. The controls and physics certainly feel more polished than Sonic Team's previous project, but they still inherit the fundamental problems that have been around ever since they tried to force Lost World's square peg into the Boost formula's round hole. Beyond the lack of pinball physics, which I won't get into here since I've already exhausted the subject, Shadow lacks any real sense of inertia, meaning the game doesn't flow as well as a Boost game really ought to. It feels like he's not slippery enough? Okay, I know that probably sounds insane, but hear me out. The Boost games pre-Forces, those being Unleashed, Colors, and Generations, all had intentionally slippery handling that I really didn't give enough credit for in my original videos. The levels in all 3 of these games, especially Colors and Generations, are very linear, consisting mostly of straight hallways. But thanks to the looser handling, these levels feel a lot more tense and kinetic than they otherwise would, requiring careful play and quick reaction time in order
It's like, if you look at this gameplay here, it's like, this gameplay came out, like, 2 generations ago, like, like 15 years back. And it just feels so much better.
Not run into obstacles or
like,
fall.
not only graphically does it look better, but like, it's just, it feels nice running insanely fast as Sonic.
To pits. Contrast this with games like Sonic.
And then it just cuts to Frontiers, where it's like, you're moving really slowly, there's level pop-in. The geometry is very, the aesthetics are very bland. Like,
Tears and, you guessed it, Shadow Generations. These games have much tighter
and
handling.
like, I would say that Shadow Generations is a definite upgrade across the board to Frontiers, but not by much. I definitely prefer how Unleashed looks. Using linear as a criticism means you hate straights. That sounds like projection, my guy, so I feel like you should reflect on your own tastes.
Probably the tightest we've seen since the Adventure era, and yet
also cope harder because you like forces, so
can't help but feel that this makes the boost formula feel a lot less fun. Sonic and Shadow Generations both being in the same package really helped me finally pinpoint this. Even the simple act of going in a straight line is so much more engaging in the original game than it is in the Shadow campaign, thanks to the looser handling and the bigger emphasis on Sonic's physics. Shadow Generations is objectively more precise to control, but its precision...
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of phrasing it. Yeah, like, because the controls feel way more stiff in Shadow Generations. And, like, that's not, like, a bad thing. All the 3D Sonic games are mid. Fuck you know, that's a hot take. I could not disagree with you more. I think that there are a handful of 3D Sonic games that are just way better than the 2D ones, to be honest. And I think that, I think Unleashed is one of them. I think that, I think Sonic Generations is another.
To fluidity, and when it comes to the boost games, I will always take fluidity. Jeez, man, first Spotman says the controls aren't precise enough. Now
I don't know why people compare Shadow Generations to Sonic Forces. Well, because I think it's mainly just because of the trailer. Like, the trailer the trailer was just a lot of straight lines. It wasn't like, I don't know.
Guys, give me a break. Okay, let me clarify. In a game that takes advantage of Sonic's pinball physics for platforming, like, say, Sonic Adventure, having
Sonic Adventure 1 was peak.
Makes perfect sense, but for the
Sonic Adventure 2, not so much, but Sonic Adventure 1 was
that
goated.
Focuses on speed and de-emphasizes the pinball physics, having looser control makes it feel more tense and exciting, rather than feeling like you're just drawing a straight line from beginning to end. Hopefully that makes sense. And yes, I know all the bad faith.
Because that's something as well, like, I don't like the double jumps that these characters have. Like, the double jumps just feel so, like, limp. It's like the actual, like, double jump barely gets you any more height. I know that that's like a game-by-game thing. Like, in Sonic Forces, the double jump, you may as well fucking forget it. Unless you were in Avatar levels, where having the double jump was pretty much mandatory. I don't know, like, I never had an issue with just a regular jump in, like, Unleashed and Generations. I never had an issue with that. But that's just me, I suppose.
The comments were already posted before I made that clarification.
Maybe it's because Sonic just naturally jumped higher in those games. I don't know.
I just wanted to lead them on so they could bump up my analytics. It's a little known secret of the trade called being an asshole. Shadow Generations also introduces the Doom powers, which you unlock throughout the campaign. And remember when I said
that's something I like about this fanbase? What do you like more? What do you like about this fanbase?
This game takes cues from Sonic colors. Well, these are wisps. They have an edgy coat of paint to disguise them from the colors haters, but that's what they are. And surprisingly, they're pretty fun. In fact, they're one of the better parts of this game in my opinion.
See, like, I wouldn't say the Doom powers are wisps necessarily, because it's like, they're not like specific. Because like the thing with the wisps is that for the most part, they're technically optional. Like, there's only, like, a couple of moments in the entire game where you actually need the wisps. For the most part, they are optional. Whereas it's like, the Doom powers in this game are mandatory. It's like, there are some parts of the game that are legit impossible without the Doom powers. Like Kingdom Valley, or the Metal Sonic boss. Or Mephiles. Which, in a way, you could say it's better or worse, but, like, I wouldn't compare the Doom powers to the Wisps.
The main gameplay. There's the Doom Spear, Doom Blast, Doom Surf, Doom Morph, Doom Wings, and a Doom cartridge in a pear tree. There, now this video is a Christmas special. The only one of these I'm not a big fan of is the Doom Morph, mainly for just how unreliable and inconsistent it feels to control, but the rest of these are great, especially Doom Surf. There's also Chaos Control, which you get at the start of the game, and this allows you to freeze time when you fill up this gauge at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, Chaos Control was great.
Interesting idea, I suppose.
Hot take, Frontiers is better than Sonic and Shadow Generations, in your opinion. Why do you think that? Like, what reasons do you have for that? So it's like, I don't hate how Shadow controls. Like, I think I prefer how Shadow controls in this game compared to, like, Sonic Colors and Sonic Forces. But it's like, I just don't think he's as good as Unleashed or Sonic Generations.
But it really doesn't do the level.
I think he's probably in, like, the top 3 best boost games, but I wouldn't say he's number 1.
Design any favors. So how is the level design in this game? Well, it's better than Frontiers, I guess. I mean, that largely comes down to the design.
Fucking hell, that's a hot take.
Design's actually being original this time and lasting longer than 1 minute, but I feel like I'm reaching for table scraps anytime I praise these games for doing that. In terms of how they actually feel to play, they're about on par with Frontiers, and especially
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with this more. I think that the levels in... I think that the levels in this game are way better than this shit. Like, I think cyberspace levels... Like, I don't think they're as bad as Forces levels, but I think they're the bottom of the barrel as far as boost gameplay, to be honest. Like, at the very least, Colors has, like, one or two goated levels for every world. Cyberspace just didn't intrigue me at all. There were way too many, and hardly any of them were good.
Remind me of the towers and the memory token challenges. They're not bad. In some cases, they're actually pretty competent with the occasional branch.
Frontiers is worse in everything. You hate Frontiers? Jason, why do you hate Frontiers, my guy?
Paths and shortcut opportunities, but if I'm being honest, this really didn't help these levels feel any more engaging. For most of the game, I felt like I was going on autopilot, relying on muscle memory I had built from the repetitive gameplay of Forces and Frontiers, which very much carries over in Shadow.
See, I'm curious as to what this guy thinks of Unleashed and Sonic Generations. Because, like, I feel like a lot of these complaints you could make about those games. Like, muscle memory, like, linear to an extent. I don't know.
Generations. The Doom powers are the ones saving grace here, helping break up the monotony as I previously mentioned, but unfortunately they're not used nearly enough.
Hey, Mango, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think Unleashed was peak, to be honest. Like, the more I play... Like, Unleashed is one of the few Sonic games where the more I play it, the more I love it. It's like Shadow Generations is the exact opposite. The more I play it, the less I enjoy it. It's weird. The only thing that I think I enjoy more about Shadow Generations in my second playthrough was the Devil Doom boss. It's like the first time I played Shadow Generations, I legit thought the Time Eater was better. Like, I did not like Devil Doom. The second time I played it, I preferred... I like Devil Doom now. It's just the other boss fights I don't like that much. Like, the Bio-Lizard is great, he's just so easy. And then Metal Sonic and Mephiles are just kind of mid, as boss fights go. Like, as far as Sonic bosses go, they're pretty good, but as far as, like, bosses in, like, just video games in general go, it's like, they're nothing special.
I was super excited when I unlocked Doom Surf, only to realize that...
People complaining about Frontiers controls forget Frontiers logic change your controls. Yeah, but they didn't make a huge difference. Like, it's really good that it gave you the option to do it, but it's like... Even when my controls were, like, as I liked it, I still didn't like it as much as Forces and, not Forces, Generations and Unleashed.
It's only used a couple times in very brief sections. That can be said for most of the other Doom powers, with a notable exception being the Doom Wings. However, I think the thing that kills these levels the most for me is Chaos Control. This ability is constantly handed to you like candy, pretty much turning it into a make the level easier button with no real consequences.
I mean, yeah, but no shit. Like, it's Chaos Control and it's Shadow the Hedgehog. It's like... I feel like the game would be less good if you barely got Chaos Control. It's kind of like the boost for Sonic. It's like, yeah, it makes the game easier, but no shit. It's like one of his abilities.
Tried to avoid using it as much as I could during my playthrough, and I do think it was more enjoyable because of it, but that's no excuse for it even existing in the first place. Honestly, I think this should have just been left out of the game. Finally, I should—
Okay, no, I disagree with that. That's cap. The game would be better without Chaos Control? Nah, that's shit. It's one of the few Sonic games that actually allows you to use Chaos Control. Like, I think Chaos Control, like, I think, to be completely honest, I think the way that they introduced it was perfect. 5 seconds freezes time, and you can use environmental objects to, like, find new pathways. It's perfect. Literally, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The only thing that I think would make Chaos Control slightly better is if you could upgrade it throughout the game, where, like, you could recharge it faster, or maybe you could make it last slightly longer. Other than that, though, I think the way that it was handled was pretty much perfect. Like, to be completely honest.
To briefly talk about the bosses. Like the rest of the game, these have some great spectacle, but they don't really have much else going for them if you ask me. A majority of them are designed in that repetitive manner that spits in the face of the classics, making you wait through long attack cycles before you're given an opportunity to hit your opponent once, then—
Well, Inferno, let me ask you a question. Where would you rank Frontiers, like, compared to, like, other boost games, for example? Because you said that Frontiers was better than Shadow Generations, I think you said? Like Sonic Generations, Shadow Gen, one of them. So it's like, where would you rank Frontiers, like, as far as boost games go?
Rinse and repeat. Said attack cycles are at least more engaging than anything in Sonic Frontiers, but that's not exactly saying much.
We got Kevin in the chat. Hello, Kevin. Oh, it's the Kevin.
That in mind,
It's cool for the story too. Characters like Shadow and Metal Love becoming immune to Chaos Control. Yeah, it is actually really nice.
does the final boss do anything different? Spoiler alert, skip here.
It's also really cool, like, because, like, you could probably cheese Chaos. You could probably cheese... I can't speak today. You could probably cheese boss fights with Chaos Control. So it's nice that there's a couple, at least, that are immune to it. Like, the Bio Lizard, I don't think he's immune to it. In fact, I think you need Chaos Control to beat the Bio Lizard. So it's pretty nice that, like, some of the later bosses are, like, immune to some of your abilities.
If you don't want to see him. No, it doesn't. Ending's nice, though. Shadow Generations is fine. It's good, even. I won't pretend that it isn't. It's got some neat ideas, meaty levels, and a pretty competent story that even made my cold black heart feel things. With that said, though, it's far from peak Sonic material. It's an...
I'd agree. I would agree. I don't think this game is peak Sonic. Nowhere near. But I definitely don't think it's as bad as he's saying it is. You'd say Sonic Frontiers is B. Sonic Frontiers is C. Wow, you guys really don't like Frontiers. I thought that everyone loved Frontiers. 06 is better than Frontiers. Okay, now that's where we draw the line. No. That's where we draw... No. That's where we draw the line. Kim Jun Love. That's where we draw the line. If we're even Project 06, like, I like Project 06, and I'd probably say that P06 is better than Frontiers, but like original 06, no.
An improvement over Frontiers, to be sure.
But again, Project 06 has no boss fights, so it is what it is.
But it
Well,
still
not yet,
retains
it doesn't.
many of its fundamental problems, and it's baffling to me that Sonic Team elected to use that game as the foundation for a Sonic Generations expansion instead of, oh gee, I don't know, Sonic Generations? Despite my grievances with it.
Where would I rank Frontiers? I actually don't know. That is tough. It's like Frontiers has really good moments, like the Titan fights, but I just don't like much of the game. I'd probably say it's like, yeah, I'd probably agree with the B tier. Like, this is probably one of my biggest hot takes. I think Sonic Adventure 1 is better than Sonic Adventure 2. And I think that Sonic Adventure 2 is one of the most overrated Sonic games. We'll see how long that takes me to get crucified.
Sonic X Shadow Generations is a perfectly competent little package. It has a mostly unadulterated version of the original Generations, which is still one of the best Sonic.
And that's another I'll just add on to that. I think Sonic X Shadow Generations is better than Sonic Adventure 2, to be honest. I'd rather play Colors in 4K than Frontiers. I can respect that. Sonic 06 with glitches and gems is the most fun time I've had on Sonic. Well, it doesn't mean it's, like, good, though. If I'm trying to chill, I'd rather play Forces than Frontiers. Yeah, I'd agree. Forces is just brain dead. Like, I can just turn my brain off and beat the game in 2 hours. Like, it is what it is.
Games ever, and it has a brand new game, Shadow Generations, which is what it is, for better or for worse. But is it worth $50? Hell no. Both of these games combined only take a few hours to beat, and you're effectively spending 25 of those $50 on a 13-year-old game that you could have bought for less before this thing released. All of this to say, if you're really interested...
See, like, that's one thing that I agree with him. It's like, I don't think this game is worth $50. Like, or £50. Especially if you're like... Especially if you already owned it before and are, like, buying it again. It's like, I think this game is worth, like, $20? Something like that. Like, I think it's... Like, imagine if this game was, like, $5. Holy shit, that would be a steal. Like, that would be so good. But... probably won't get to that point.
Is Sonic X Shadow Generations a bad game? No, it's not. But from the way everyone is talking about it, you'd think this thing was the second coming of Christ. Even Donkey seemed to like this game, which makes me feel like I'm living in an alternate universe for the second time today. But hey, if you're one of these people, more power to you. All of my misgivings aside,
you don't like do more skill issue
that seem to be satisfying a good portion of the fan base. As for me though, Sonic X Shadow Generations was fine, but it didn't give me the same religious experience that it seems to have given everyone else. And you know what?
I got you.
That's okay. If you
Frontiers is free on PlayStation Plus. Really? That's cool. Let's get the other one up. There was another video that I wanted to watch. Sonic X Shadow. By the way, if you guys have there was one where they criticized the writing.
For a long time.
Oh, no, I think it was this one. Yeah, hold on, I get it. Oh, it's just the background gameplay. Yeah, I think it was this one. Something is wrong with Sonic X Shadow Generations. I think it's by Pariah. Lightspeed's here! Lightspeed, rescue! I'm gonna do that every single time you appear.
Something ain't right with this here Sonic X Shadow Generations game. First of all, I played through the entirety of both games.
$50 ain't that bad of a price considering most games are 70 to 100. I know, but it's like, a lot of those games are worth that money. It's like, I don't think 2 3-hour games is worth that price. Especially when one of them is like 13 years old and largely unchanged. So it's like, I do think it's not worth that price.
And not a single time did Sonic and Shadow kiss each other. So that's a problem right there, false advertising. But more importantly, there is some weird stuff happening with this Sonic game that does not normally happen for other Sonic games.
Well, yeah, it's a Shadow game. No shit, it's not a Sonic game.
Everybody seems to really be enjoying it. The entire Sonic community, it seems we're all very happy with this game.
Well, not the guy that we just watched, and also probably not me. I don't know, like, I don't mind the game. Oh, it's so annoying. I don't hate Shadow Generations, I just don't love it.
Was the last time that happened? Mania, probably, but even then there's a lot of people that don't care for classic Sonic, so probably like
this guy.
Sonic Generations is the last time that pretty much the entire fan base was digging a Sonic game. But even beyond us, critics and general audiences all seem to really be enjoying this game as well. And then you look at the sales figures, the fact that it's sold 1 million copies in just a few days. They say it's 1 day, but really with the early release, it's more like 3 or 4 days, but whatever. Still, 1 million copies in just a couple of days for Sonic is incredibly good. If it manages
Wow,
to maintain
actually,
that
it's really good.
momentum, then this game should easily outsell Sonic Frontiers, which I would be very happy with, because this game is a much better game than Sonic Frontiers, if you ask me. And if Sega and Sonic Team are gonna learn lessons from a Sonic game selling well, this is the game that they should be learning lessons from. A simple, straightforward Sonic game. It's not some bloated, quote-unquote, ambitious mess of a Sonic game. It's finished, it's polished, it's well-designed, well put together, has decent-looking visuals, good...
You know that the bar has been set very low when a game being finished and polished is somehow a good thing. That's how you know that the bar is very low for this fucking franchise.
Story that is very authentic to what Sonic is. It's not afraid to let Sonic be Sonic. For once, they actually did everything right, and I'm glad it's paying off, because obviously a Sonic game selling well means more resources will be allocated for future Sonic things.
You know what? This game isn't... This review isn't making me mad.
Is a game that I initially had some pre-release criticism for. The game was revealed. It gave me Sonic Forces vibes with how it looked and with a little bit of the...
We need a video that's gonna make me mad. Sonic... The first video we get is just something that's gonna piss me off. Sonic X Shadow Generation censored for modern audiences. Oh, fucking hell, here we go.
Oh, look.
I wonder what the like to dislike ratio in this is.
Look, another...
Hang on, let's see what the comments are. Context is important, ignore it and you'll get this. I'm sorry, have you played the game or are you just ripping these out of context images and trying to win your own imaginary argument? I'm sorry, but when people aren't even simping for the female content creator, you know that something ain't right. Are you kidding? Censoring Sonic makes no sense. Oh, Jesus, someone... Fuck, oh, Jesus. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Oh, dear. See, like, I absolutely love people that criticize this shit. It's the same thing with Ultimate Joker and, like, the Spider-Man 2 thing. It's like, I don't get how people hate this shit so much. Like, who cares? Like, if I woke up tomorrow and they swapped and they made Sonic black instead of blue, I would not care. I seriously wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, now he's black. It's like, okay, the Werehog was black at one point, who cares? Like, if they make Sonic red, who cares? Fairly certain he's been red before, to be honest. Like, am I the only one who feels this way? Like, you could genuinely make Knuckles blue, Sonic red, and Tail... Wait, no. You could make Knuckles blue, Sonic yellow, and Tails red, and I just would not care. My god.
game being censored for the modern audience.
Not gonna lie, the most beautiful thing in this image is that microphone. To be honest. Like, that microphone is pretty nice. It's also made in China by the looks of things. That's how you know it's good quality.
That doesn't exist.
Sonic's whole thing is that he's blue. Super Sonic would like a word with you, sir. Or madam. It's like, I just don't care. Like people, like, I understand that sometimes the whole, like, woke thing is a problem. Like, some of the Disney projects, I agree. So you hate women. I don't hate women at all. I just don't, like, how the hell did you come to that conclusion? Apparently I hate women because of that, lol.
Imagine my shock. This time, Sonic X Shadow Generations is being censored across the board for multiple reasons and very weird ones. So,
well, technically the game isn't censored. Unless every single character randomly decided to wear, like, t-shirts and jeans or what have you, they're not censored. Because technically every single character is still naked aside from shoes. Aside from the female characters, obviously.
They're changing our games. They're ruining our games.
Ah, yes, they're making the games... They're censoring the games, even though Sonic, Knuckles, Tails are all still naked aside from shoes and gloves. I fucking hate this planet sometimes. Oh, and of course we get to go to Twitter. Twitter is like a lamp for all of the moronic flies that live on this planet. It just attracts them all together. You notice this? You find this black stick more attractive than a woman, and you buy? No, it's just because I value personality over looks, because I'm not shallow. It is what it is. They censored Sonic X Shadow Generations. Rouge covered up more than last time. Ah, yes, a fictional animal is covered up because... Never mind. No more hand in face to a female. You can't have that. I mean... oh, fucking Christ. Fat shaming removed. When the hell do they fat shame? Unless it's like that one joke that Knuckles makes to classic Sonic, but like, it's technically still in the game. It's just that the dialogue's different. I can tell you where this all comes from. Western activist localization departments every time. Community notes coming in to say, but Sega will sell the old version is hilarious brain rot. I mean, how is it? Like, the older version is still available to sell. Calling 2 billion people idiots, wow. Yeah, because they are. Like, there's a lot of fucking people in the world. Chances are there are 2 billion idiots.
Games. Yet again, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Now, I have pulled up right here a tweet from Grums. He said, they censored Sonic X Shadow Generations. You've got Rouge covered up even more than last time, which as you can see in this screenshot, apparently, like, they moved her...
Can I just ask, what the fuck is different between these images? Like, seriously, spot the difference. Like, it's like, oh wow, she's covered up more than usual. You actually have to study both images to realize that her dress is slightly higher than it was before. Oh yeah, sorry, she's very, very covered up because you can't see her collarbone. Fucking hate people.
Wings, so you cannot see her back.
Oh wow, her wings are black now instead of a bright purple. Yeah, game's woke.
Apparently backs are bad.
It's not even the back though, it's more like the tops of the shoulders maybe, and like it really isn't that big of a difference.
So no more seeing a back. Got it?
No, it's okay, Ultrasonics, let them keep going, it's fine. You know, there's like 45 people here, you know, we're bound to have the occasional Muppet in the chat, it's fine.
Got it. No more hand in face to a female. Can't have that. Now, here's why.
If Sonic truly was woke, why is Shadow not the main character? Like, why is Sonic still the main character? Like, why isn't Shadow in every single game? Like, you see how this argument falls apart, like, faster than the fucking Twin Towers? Like, it really is that simple. Like, oh, the game is censored for modern audiences. It's like, okay, why isn't Shadow the main character? Why is Sonic still, like, the main character? Why are the female characters still fucking useless for the most part? Why isn't Blaze returned? Like, do you wanna know something? Like, Sonic Rush was like, when did Sonic Rush come out? It was like 05, wasn't it? 04, something like that? They had a male and female character basically being equals. It's like, we had that all the way back in 2005, yet all of a sudden it's now a big problem. I don't get it.
Why though? Now he's giving her cupcakes.
Oh no, Sonic is less of an asshole. Yeah, which is all the more funny because Sonic literally is less of an asshole in Frontiers. Like, Frontiers is like one of the few games where a relationship between Sonic and Amy is actually plausible. Like, at the end of the game, he has his hand around her waist and, like, hugs her in. It's like, mate, could you imagine, like, Adventure Sonic doing that?
Sense. Well, this thing is Amy is obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog, as a lot of us know. And so he's kind of like, hey. But no, now...
I mean, look at the image, though. Like, she's still obsessing over him by bringing him food. And... he's looking at Tails, and he keeps her at arm's length. Like, just because he doesn't have his hand in her face, it's like, aside from that, like, what's different?
She's just like, oh yay, cupcakes.
How many subs does this person have? Yeah, there's probably that many morons on the internet.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Okay, so
It's funny how, like, legit mad they are. I love
there's
it.
that. Now, fat shaming removed. Health and fitness have been fixed by lowering standards.
Ah, yes, because Sonic, they fat shamed all the way back in the early 2000s by making Sonic skinny. Yeah, we can't have Sonic be fat anymore. No, they were fat shaming all the way back in the 90s when they made Sonic skinny. You see how the argument rapidly falls apart. Also, if the Sonic if the Sonic franchise was fat shaming, then why the hell is Eggman still a thing? Like, why is Eggman not Captain America? If they truly are fat shaming, like, why is the main villain still a fat ass? Like, why is Big the Cat still a thing? Why is Vector still a thing? You see what I mean? How dumb this argument is? And how rapidly it falls apart?
Here you have...
Even Eggman's super form, he's still fat. It's... Oh dear.
Knuckles, who originally...
Yeah, next up Sonic Prime's woke, because isn't, like, the actor who plays Sonic black? Oh, fucking hell.
He says, "Thanks, Sonic. You did good. You did a good job back there. Hey, did you gain weight?" And then now he just says, "Thanks, Sonic. Now then, tell me, where's the rest of my island?" Because...
I mean, if anything, that's actually quite funny, because he's like, yeah, where's the rest of my island? And Sonic immediately rubs his stomach. It's like a funny joke. It's as though Sonic ate the island. Like, it's funny. But also, it's like, yeah, no, it's like... like, by this same logic, it's like, oh, you could say that Sonic, the original Sonic Generations, was, like, racist against people with spiky hair. Because when you complete Crisis City as Classic Sonic, Blaze says, "Hey, is it me, or are you less spiky?" And, like, Classic Sonic rubs his hair, like, self-consciously. It's because, funnily enough, the modern characters are reacting to Classic Sonic and how he's different in his design to modern Sonic. That's all it is. It's like, what, are you gonna try saying that fucking the original Generations is offensive towards people with spiky hair? Like, absolutely fucking not.
The big back's offended. Okay. So, what's this? So, Sega has already...
Yeah, Sega has already confirmed that the original version of Generations is available for sale. Yeah, so it's not like they're, like, censoring the fucking game. It's still available for sale. And chances are it's gonna be cheaper than, like, the new game. Because it's been out for, like, nearly 15 years now.
Already confirmed that the original...
It's like, it's just so fucking funny.
...version of Sonic Generations will still be available in bundles on Steam and Xbox, okay? So anyway, I can tell you from where this all comes. Western activists, localization departments, every time, I swear, they have...
Ah, yes, Western activists, even though I'm pretty sure that Sonic Team is a Japanese company. Like, okay.
Been the freaking worst with, I mean, they're trying to...
She fucking likes it, of course you do.
Anime as well, in some of them they kind of are, or a lot of these JRPGs and stuff like that. Also, community notes coming in to say, but...
Controversial, I think Sonic X Shadow Generations didn't deserve a 9 out of 10, it should have only been Shadow's story. I mean, at the end of the day, like, the original Generations is still great. And it's, like, sold as one package, so it makes sense.
Sega still sell the old version is hilarious brain rot. This is why you should join community
All
notes.
this over... What? Fantastic, are you good?
And not leave it to the left.
You're on glue.
Link in reply. So, yeah.
Also, can I just point out how fucking stupid some of the comments are in my chat where they're like, oh, you're only saying this because she's a woman. It's like... touch grass.
Not allowed to, I don't know.
At the end of the day, if looks truly mattered, you wouldn't be in my stream, because I'm not exactly Brad Pitt. I look like Dobby with a wig.
Now, I also saw this tweet regarding Amy, and so
are they seriously going to be... Wait.
Bio here, because you're...
A young, cheerful girl hedgehog. Amy can be a bit obsessed about chasing Sonic, even claims to be his girlfriend. I mean, yeah.
You have Amy Rose, a young, cheerful girl.
Okay, so this is the original one, right?
Amy can be a bit obsessed about chasing Sonic. She even claims to be his girlfriend. She's an energetic go-getter who lets nothing get in her way. Now here's what they changed it to.
This is what they changed it to. Amy Rose, a cheerful girl who loves to help others. Sonic inspired her to be the very best. She's an energetic go-getter. With the help of her Pico Pico hammer and fortune cards, nothing gets in her way. I mean, what's incorrect about that? Like, yeah, like, what's wrong with that? It's like she still obsesses over him, because it's like in the intro cutscene, it's like she brings him cupcakes. It's like she still obsesses over him, it's just not as... Like, she still, like, idolizes him, but I mean, so does fucking everyone. It's like, what, are you gonna try saying that the game is woke because, like, Tails doesn't, like, obsess over Sonic? It's like, they pretty much, like, it's literally his birthday party. Like, everyone's obsessing over him because it's his big day. It's like...
Wonderful girl who loves to
aside from Shadow, obviously, because he's not there until the end of the credits, but you know what I mean.
help others. Sonic inspired her to be her very best. You know,
you do realize that Sonic inspired her all the way back in Adventure 1, right? Like, she obsesses over Sonic, like, for most of her campaign, and then she actually gets the balls to save the Flicky herself. Yeah, it's because Sonic inspired her, the same way that Sonic inspired Tails as well. It's like, how is this all of a sudden a problem? If anything, this is evidence that the game isn't being censored. Because the white, straight man, technically, inspired her. How is it censorship? It's like, it's not exactly Disney,
Sonic
is it?
Anymore, not in love with Sonic. She's an energetic go-getter. With the help of her Pico Pico hammer and fortune cards, nothing gets in her way. So this tweet I thought was really well said. It will forever break my heart that Western writers believe women loving a man is seen as a bad trait. And
I mean, she still loves him. Like, what oh, Jesus. She still loves him, though. It's like, I just...
And that's exactly...
Don't ever... Like, the moral of the story is don't ever go on Twitter.
Where we're at with this.
Just don't.
Can't have that. Also, like, this kind of...
She isn't a Sonic fan. Which is why it's all the more funny. It's like...
eliminates the... I don't know if I'd call her Yondir. But still, if you know...
Do people forget how much she was ragged on for that fact? Yeah, that's actually a fair point. Like, people fucking hated Amy because of how annoying she was. She was annoying because she didn't do anything. All she did was simp over Sonic, and now all of a sudden it's a bad thing that she's been changed? Goes to show, like, that's actually a fair point. I forgot about that. Just goes to show, people are never happy.
If you watch anime, Yondir characters like Gasai, who fall so madly in love.
And do you know the hilarious thing about this? I love that it's an issue with Sonic X Shadow Generations, but it's not an issue with Frontiers, which did it first. It's like, in Frontiers, she's not obsessive over Sonic, she clearly loves others, she's inspired by him, she still clearly loves him, and they're kind of already in a relationship in Frontiers, or at the very least that's kind of the energy they gave off. Because it's like Sonic actually likes being around her, he doesn't push her away, he doesn't actively run away from her. So I find it funny that Sonic X Shadow Generations, the game that came after that, is somehow being accused of like censoring it, but Frontiers technically did it first. It's like, it's fucking stupid. And even then, it's not a bad thing in Frontiers, because it shows character growth.
And, you know, will even go at great lengths to even murder for, for who they love. I love that genre of girl. I think Gasai is one of the best female characters. I love her. She's obsessed with Yuki. She goes on these like...
I have no idea what the fuck she's talking about right now.
I guess murder sprees, all that. So yeah, I don't think Amy would go that far. Granted, I'm not like...
One of the best female characters is someone who's obsessed over a character and will kill them. Will go on killing sprees for them. Really?
super knowledgeable about Sonic the Hedgehog lore. I played like the original 2 games back on Sega Genesis.
From them 2 in Frontiers, I see a lot of chemistry. Yeah, exactly. Like, they actually have a lot more chemistry in Frontiers. The same with Knuckles and Sonic. Same thing with Knuckles and Tails. Like, all the characters actually have really good chemistry in that game.
Sonic 2.
Aha, Genesis fanboy. Where? Also, thanks, camera, for going in and out of focus. I appreciate it. You lasted, how long did the camera last? 1.5 hours before it finally went out of focus. I mean, hey, most virgins on prom night don't last 30 seconds, so hey, good job, camera. Also, hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hedgehog 2 being incredible.
Doesn't Amy giving Sonic cupcakes look more based? Yeah, exactly. Like, they're acting as though, like, she's over Sonic completely, and she's, like, a strong female character from, like, Disney or some shit. Oh, her, not you. Oh, got you.
I do remember.
I thought you meant me.
But yeah, anyway, so this kind of stuff just changes so
I was gonna say, I fucking hate well, I don't hate the Genesis games, I just don't read them.
much of the narrative.
Why is that blue? There we go. Blue dabba dee dabba die.
Of the story that especially you already have outlined in this kind of situation. Like, she's obsessed with him. He's like, oh, you know, it's
Did she bring up Rouge yet? Yeah, she complained about Rouge being like having slightly more clothes than like before. Like how Rouge's like shoulder. The thing that I find funny about this is hang on. Rift is cooking with gas with this one. Bear me a second. Bear with me. I guess Sonic Prime is also woke as well. Like, she's completely excluding that image, which is a bit cursed, but like, you see what I mean? Or do you want a better example? We can do a better example. Hold on. Yeah, so I guess the Sonic X, the show that came out in the late 90s, I guess that show's woke as well, because it covers like 90% of her body. We can do this. We can keep doing this.
Funny. It's just a part of. It's just like he's still having his conversation, and it's just like whatever, you know. Also, you know what else is weird? This looks better. Why does this look better? Well, isn't this supposed to be an updated version? Why is it more? Why does it look worse? I don't know what's going on, guys. Gaming.
I mean, it doesn't look. The only thing that I can really notice about it is the brightness. Aside from that, it doesn't necessarily look worse. Does it? How about in Sonic Heroes when they changed the design? Yeah, they gave her like a new outfit in Heroes.
Has been so... Gaming has just gone downhill so bad. In more ways.
I love how she doesn't talk about the gameplay, it's just all woke, bad. I wonder what games she actually likes. Let's see if she actually plays games or if she's just like a drama person. Oh, yeah. The first video we see is just GTA 6 going woke. Oh, dear.
We are at...
What games have you played this year that you actually liked? Metroid? No, Metroid's woke. No, woman main character. You see how dumb it is? Like,
look,
we can do this. Ah, shit, I've lost the point in the video. I think it was the 5-minute mark.
The Hedgehog 2 being incredible. I guess murder sprees, all that. So yeah, I don't think Amy would
I
go
lost my
that
point in the
far.
video, so we're just gonna have to guess.
Granted, I'm not like super
Hey,
knowledgeable
Dr.
about
Robotnik, how you doing, buddy?
Sonic the Hedgehog lore. I played like the original.
Gaming has gone downhill because of AAA games. Fuck. Of all of the moments I could have had a dyslexia moment, it had to be then. No, I don't actually think gameplay has gone downhill, to be honest. I think it's just certain AAA games and like certain like developers and what have you. Like gaming on PC specifically is actually better than it's ever been. To be honest. I think it just depends on what perspective you have, like what games you like. Because it's like, if we're looking at like next year for me, like, gaming for me next year is like one of the best years it's ever been. It's like we're getting the PC port of Spider-Man 2, we're getting Monster Hunter Wilds, we're getting the new Dying Light DLC, and there's probably quite a few, we're getting the new Elden Ring game. It's like, next year looks like a fucking banger for games, for me at least. Like, so I don't think gaming's gone downhill in the slightest. I think it's just some years are better than others because of personal preference, and that's fine.
2 games back on Sega Genesis. Sonic 2, the Hedgehog 2 being incredible. I do remember.
Kirby, how you doing?
But yeah, anyway, so this kind of stuff just changes so much of the narrative of the story that especially...
What's the most rage-inducing stage in Sonic Shadow Gens, in your opinion? Oh, one of the Radical Highway missions, 100%. Those levels are just so fucking frustrating. Probably Act 1. Yeah, to be honest. You can do a Crossworlds video? Probably not, no.
Already have out...
Also, yes, in case we have to point it out, because some people don't get the message, don't send this bitch harassment. Just please don't. Don't send anyone harassment. Like, even people like Ultimate Joker, just don't send them harassment, because at the end of the day, they don't deserve it. Partly because you're giving them ad revenue by clicking on their videos, but also just because, like, why would you harass people? Like, there's no point.
Outline in this kind of situation, like, she's obsessed with him. He's like,
I'm good. Who is this? Melanie Mack, apparently. I've never heard of her up until now.
Funny. It's just a part of... it's just like he's still having his conversation, and it's just like whatever, you know. Also,
gaming has gone downhill because people play games all the time and finish every game like it's a job before it was just a hobby. I mean, what exactly has changed? Like, the only thing that I think's changed is more and more people want to be like YouTubers and streamers. And at that point, because of like Twitch and stuff, they turn it into a job more than a hobby. It's like, I don't think that's the fault of gaming, though. I think that's just the fault of like streaming services becoming massive. Because it's like, I've been like a content creator for like 4 years now, technically, on and off. Like, I started streaming on Twitch in like 2020 because of COVID. But it's like, I still consider gaming to be a hobby. Like, it's weird. And it's like, to an extent, I still can, even though I make a little bit of money off of YouTube, it's like, I still consider it a hobby. I think it just depends on perspective, to be honest. Like, I 100% agree. Like, I understand what you mean. Especially when you have, like, speedrunners, for example, where they spend so much fucking time playing games to try beat their high score. Or they try beat like their fastest time. That is not a hobby at that point. Like, you are setting world records, you know, you perform at charity events, you know, what have you. At that point, it's no longer a hobby. Like, I agree with you in that sense. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, gaming for me is still a hobby. What do you guys think? Make a 5-year anniversary for the channel? I've only been making YouTube content for 2 years, so might gonna have to wait a few years for that. Bro, imagine if I get 100k subscribers by 2028. That'd be sick.
so, you know what else is weird? This looks better. Why does this look better? Well, isn't this supposed to be an updated version? Why is it more... Why does it look worse? I don't know what's going on, guys.
See, like, that is one thing that I will criticize Sonic Generations for. It's like, I think that they could have done a lot more with the port. It's like, for the most part, they just ported over the PC version onto consoles and, like, gave it a few new bells and whistles, and that was kind of it.
gaming.
Especially since, if you look at, bear with me, if you look at, which one is it? It's one of the Shadow Generations trailers. I can't spell. One of the trailers, I can't remember which one it is. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. It's this one. Especially since, if we look at this trailer, I would love it if the entire game looked like this. For Sonic Generations, specifically. And then it just cuts to the actual gameplay, and it just doesn't look as good, you know? Like, I would have loved the entire game. Like, this just looks so nice. This looks great. And then the entire game wasn't like that. I don't know. Just a little disappointed, that's all. But at the end of the day, it is what it... I've got so many fucking YouTube tabs up, I struggled to find the right one. Hard-like models, CGI models. Just make it look better, you know? Because, like, I kind of agree with what she's saying. It's like, it's not that big of an upgrade from, like, a 360 game to a Series X game, you know? They couldn't really do that much because of the Switch. I mean, the Switch does have some decent-looking games. It's like, it is what it is.
Has been so...
And it's like, the Switch is more powerful than the Xbox 360, at least. It's like, they probably could have made the player models look slightly better.
Oh... Gaming has just gone downhill.
Especially since Shadow Generations looks good, and that's also... Look, Shadow Generations looks great, and that's also on the Switch. So it's like, what's the Sonic Generations excuse?
Feels so bad. In more ways than one. A lot of these remasters, too.
I say if they made the graphics of the update as Shadow Generation, yes. If they updated the graphics, it would have looked way fucking better. 100%.
I mean, there's something has to be up with this. I would think that this would be the old one, this would be the new one by the graphics. Am I missing something here? Because this looks better.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that they put more time into Shadow Generations, which makes more sense, because that's, like, the new thing. It's like... The Switch isn't that weak, people need to make that excuse. It's stronger than the Xbox 360 and the Wii U. Oh, you mean consoles that came out in 2005? Crazy flex, bro. Like the Switch is a weak console for modern standards. Like, I don't really know like why you're defending that. Like, it's less powerful than the PS4 and the Xbox One, and they came out in 2013. So it's like, and you can't even make the excuse that it's because it's a handheld, because it's like you have things like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, which are comparable to, like, the PS4 Pro, so... Like, the Switch is a weak platform. Like, realistically. Has quite a few good games, but... It holds it back.
Let's see...
Have you seen the measurable movie speed for Sonic Meta? No, what the fuck's that? Post that in the, Discord server if you want. Gaming Rift, have you seen Xenoblade Chronicles X? I have. And if it was on... Yeah? Come in. Yes, I have seen that game, and if it was on PC, it would look way better, and it would have way better performance. Well, not even the PC, because I don't want to sound like a PC master race. It's like, even if it was on the Series X and the PS5, it would look better and it would run better. Because it's like the Switch just isn't that powerful of a platform. I'm not saying it's a bad platform. I'm just saying, like, objectively, it can't run games at that good quality. Which shouldn't be much of a surprise, since it uses mid-2010s mobile phone technology.
Dude.
It's like, try playing Tears of the Kingdom on your phone and see how that goes. I'm gonna go for a piss, I'll be right back. If I can find the correct fucking one, I'll put some gameplay in the background. I'm back. Also, my dumbass forgot to play the music in the background, so you were just like... you were all just sat in silence. My bad. Oh, actually, no, the music was playing. It's just so quiet, I didn't even realise. Whoops. I'll just catch up with chat real quick. The Switch is very outdated. I don't know why Sonic fans act like they need more performance. But it's not a Sonic fans thing, it's just a gaming thing in general. Like, the Switch is, objectively speaking, a very weak platform. Like, I don't know, like, there's literally no debating this. Like, it is a weak platform. It's like it runs games at like 720p, 30 FPS. It's like that would be fucking unacceptable for like consoles, for example. People don't get that, they blame the hardware. Yeah, because the hardware is weak. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's because the Switch is focused on handheld gaming, not console gaming. I mean, tell that to the ROG Ally. Can run games at 1080p, 120 FPS, and it's a handheld. Tell that to the Steam Deck. Runs games at 800p at 90 FPS. It's like... I don't really know what to tell you, dude. Like, just because it focuses on handheld gaming, that's not really a valid excuse. Look at gaming laptops, they can achieve that performance. And the reason why they can achieve it is because it's not difficult for modern hardware to do that. But the Switch isn't based on modern hardware.
Why are they updating?
Where did we get to? I've completely lost my point.
Why are they updating?
Doesn't matter, you can't get a PS5 and Xbox Series X level performance on a handheld. Yeah, and the Switch doesn't offer that either, so how is that a flex? Like, the Switch doesn't offer, like, Xbox One or PS4 gaming on a handheld, so I don't care. The Steam Deck offers PS4 Pro level of quality, and I think the ROG Ally is, like, slightly better than the PS4, but not as good as the PS5.
Updating it. It doesn't look better. What is the reason? Is the reason just to change the narratives? Like, what the heck? So anyway, I have Kaide here who says this is how it starts. Something small, then it keeps going down that slippery slope, which we've already seen with Tomb Raider. I mean, look.
It's actually funny that people mention this, because it reminds me of a post that I saw earlier, and there's no freaking chance of me getting the post up, because I can't remember where I found it. But it was, I'm just saying it's a handheld. Yeah, and I'm saying it's weak for handheld standards. Like the Nintendo Switch is weak even for a handheld. It's just kind of the way it is. This is Larry Croft. I fucking love this post. This isn't the post that I was thinking of, but the post that I found was like... It was like... You know that actress who plays, like, Peggy Carter? Forgotten what she's called. But, like, apparently she plays, like, Lara Croft in, like, a show or what have you. And it shows, like, the Lara Croft, like, model versus the actress who plays her. And they're like, oh, we were robbed, you know, this is how Lara Croft, the actress, looks in real life. It's like... It's like, I don't know, sorry, her tit's not quite big enough for you guys, my bad.
Look at this. I mean, and classic Lara Croft's even better, but still, I do like Underworld Lara Croft's appearance. But yeah, now you've got, like...
I love how you keep ignoring everything else I said. All I'm saying is that Sonic games take less to. I mean, the Sonic games still run shit on Steam Deck. Not Steam Deck, they still run shit on the Switch. And that's the point that I'm making. It's like, just because these games are on the Switch, it's like, they don't run nearly as well as they run on, like, other platforms. And that's the point that I'm making as well. It's like, you know, Xenoblade, Tears of the Kingdom, all of these games, it's like, they'd run way better on, like, literally every other platform. So it's like...
Larry Croft instead of Lara Croft. You've got her whole backstory changed and all that kind of stuff as well, and this kind of stuff just keeps happening. And that's the thing, is this
PlayStation 5 Portal is a handheld, has better performance than the Series X? I highly fucking doubt that. Like, as far as handhelds go, the PlayStation 5 Portal is probably the worst one. Mainly just because you need the PlayStation 5 and the Portal in order to get it to work. So, like, it's probably the most expensive one, and it doesn't even offer you that much. But maybe it gives you good performance. I don't know.
This isn't some gratuitous game that it's like, oh, you gotta fix this and that. Like, it's a game for kids, and it wasn't offensive. So here we are already at censoring humor in old games.
We're already at censoring humor in old games for kids. I mean, it came out in 2011. It's not that fucking old. Did the defenders of these actions ever mention where the line for censorship is, or will we gradually erase everything that makes the weakest people in society feel uneasy? Well done for saying that women are the weakest people in society, because Amy Rose and Rouge the Bat were censored. Good job, dickhead. Like, you see what I mean? How, like, people try to defend this, but they actually make themselves look stupid. Like, oh, the weakest people in society feel uneasy as they criticize female characters being censored. It's like, okay, so do you think girls are like the weakest people in society? It's like, if you think that, fair enough, but you will get a shit ton of backlash for it. My friend said his grandma bought a Portal for him because she thought it was like the Switch. I mean, technically it is, but it's just a bit different. Xenoblade games outperform Sonic games on Switch, even locked at 30. Well, yeah, no shit they do. They were built for the Switch. It's like Sonic games are downgraded for the Switch. And also, the Switch version of Sonic games is never the priority. Like, the priority is probably the Series X, PS5, and PC. And then it'll be, like, PS4 and Xbox One, and then it'll be Switch.
Games for kids. Do the defenders
fairly
of
certain
these
Xenoblade I can't speak. Fairly certain Xenoblade is a Switch exclusive, isn't it?
actions ever mention
Like
where
Nintendo
the line for
IP,
censorship
something like
is,
that?
or will we gradually erase everything
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
that makes the weakest people in society feel uneasy?
Yeah, because Xenoblade was a Wii U exclusive, wasn't it? Xenoblade 2?
Exactly.
I need to stop pausing
Not
it.
getting the game, voting with my wallet. Never buy a game. In fact,
See, the thing that I find funny about this, have you noticed that when people say, like, games are woke, have you noticed that they always cherry-pick the worst examples? Like, have you noticed that people do that? They're like, oh, gaming's gone downhill, because look, they've censored something in Spider-Man 2, now they've censored in Suicide Squad, now they've censored in fucking, I don't know, God of War, now they've censored in this. It's like they just cherry-pick the worst examples. Have you noticed? It's weird. No, Patrick, the changes in Sonic Generations have nothing to do with the woke. They rewrote some of the dialogues people complained about how cheesy it was. I love this. Look at his fucking name, first of all. Never buy a game infected with the woke mind virus. It's to the point where I don't actually know if I support woke behavior or not, because it's like, I just don't care. Like, I seriously don't. Like, who the hell cares? Like, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're black, you're black. Who cares? Can we all just get along? Like, the freaking, like, Holocaust was, like, 80 years ago, and it was based around prejudice. It's like, have we seriously not moved on? Like, 80 fucking years. It's like slavery was, like, 200 years ago, where prejudice was a massive thing. It's like, have we still not moved on? It's so pathetic. Like, can we just all get along? Like, I don't know. It's just, like, reading stuff like this genuinely just makes me sad. But not, like, in an emotional sense. It just makes me sad for, like, the fate of the world. Because it's like, when all of us are dead, the world's fucked. Like, straight up. Like, if all of the nice-minded people, like, imagine the entire planet run by morons like this. The world's gonna end. Like, it's not World War IV, it's not World War III that's gonna end the world, it's World War wokeists. Like, people who just hate woke behavior. It's such a shame. And I'm not, like, can we just all get along? Like, I don't know why people genuinely hate this shit. Like, I understand that people in the world are very traditional. Like, I understand that people in, like, Texas, for example, or, like, the South of America, it's like they're very, like, they like their core beliefs and they don't like the idea of change. Fair enough. But it's like, if you're actively gonna, like, I'm in the mindset where I don't care what you support as long as you don't force me to support it. So it's like, if you're Christian, more power to you. If you're Muslim, more power to you. If if you're right wing, left wing, you do you, buddy. Don't force it upon me. But it's like, what they're doing in games and stuff like that, it's not forcing it upon you. It's like, they're choosing to do it. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. If you don't like it, you don't have to play it. It's like, I don't feel like stuff's being enforced upon me. Like, it's just one of those. It's like, it's such a hard topic to talk about because there's some instances where it really annoys me. But it annoys me because it affects the writing. Like, for example, to give an example, it's like when Harley Quinn grabs Deadshot's arse in Suicide Squad and, like, they all freeze. It's like, I hate that because what if, like, that was their one chance of saving the world and Harley Quinn fucked it up because she wanted to just grab his arse? It's like, what if the entire world, what if they died and the entire world just ended? Because of her decision. You know, it's like, I don't care about the fact that, oh, it's a woman grabbing the black guy's ass. Like, that doesn't bother me. Like, there are other things about it that bother me. Because I look at, like, the plot and the content. But some people are just like, do you remember when Star Wars, I think it was Star Wars Outlaws? Do you remember when that game came out and, like, in the trailer, people hated the fact that the main character was A, a woman, and B, wasn't hot? It's like, you've not even played the fucking game and you're already judging it. It's like, it's such a shame the world we live in.
The woke mind virus, yes, exactly. I mean, here's the thing is, I mean, we all know this.
No, I disagree. Look at Disney. Everything that is woke burns down. Well, yeah, because that comes at a cost of good characterization and good writing. It's not got anything to do with, like, being woke. It's just that the writing suffers. Because they inject their own political beliefs into the writing, and the writing suffers as a result.
We're sick of it. The gaming industry has been infected by woke ideology, which is satanic ideology.
No comment.
And I made an entire video about that a while ago. If you look up woke...
Oh, did you? Oh, we need to watch that. Oh, we should watch that one next.
Is satanic on my channel. You will find it. But that is the root of it. They want to pretend like, hey, this is all a virtue signal, and this is all for virtue.
Imagine unironically saying on the internet that being gay is satanic. Oh dear. She must really hate the Lucifer show, where Lucifer himself is actually a straight white man who has a relationship with a woman. She must really hate that.
Purposes, but it's not. They've had to create their own morality because they're godless people. So instead of actually having good moral values, or I don't know, encouraging kids to be healthy and so on and so forth, now it's, hey, let's
fucking hell. Yeah, Shadow's satanic. Oh dear.
Let's not talk about being fat, being unhealthy, you know, that sort of thing. And usually...
Do you guys want me to make a genuine video reacting to this? Like, I know that we've already done it on stream, but, like, do you genuinely want me to make, like, an actual video, like, breaking down every single one of her points? I'll do it. Because, like, not just... Because it's not an issue specifically with Sonic, although I will obviously cover the Sonic side of things. It's more so just an issue with, like the video game, like, criticism in general. She's a terrible influencer. Yeah.
In most cases, it's let's make female characters look more like men and male characters look more feminine so that they can try to blur the lines between...
Ah, yes, because they made the Space Marines look more feminine. Ah, yes, they totally did that. You know the game where literally... Like, Space Marines 2, whenever people say that the game industry is woke, I just point them at Space Marines 2. It's like, the men go to war, the women stay at home. Like, that's how it is in the game. And it's like, that doesn't make the game sexist, it's just that's how it is in the verse. And they're not gonna deviate from that to appease, like, fucking, you know, people who are interested on woke or what have you. It's like, Space Marines 2, the reason why that is my game of this year, that is my game of 2024, is not just because it's a kick-ass video game that's just so freaking fun, but also because it is very consistent with its ideology. Shout out, then I'll sub. It's okay, I don't want your sub. I'll accept the subs of people who like me for who I am. But yeah, like, not only is Space Marines 2 just a genuinely fucking fantastic game, but it's also consistent with its, like, meta and, like, its lore. And if people want to say it's sexist, fine, but, like, who the hell cares?
Male and female, to push this transgender ideology and so on and so forth, as I have so...
Whoa, wait, but how...
between male and female, to push this transgender ideology and so on and so...
The thing that... I love this. Like, we're at that point in the video where they're just, like, saying every word that comes into their head. Oh, gay people satanic. Oh, female men look like men because transgender something. It's like, like every single buzzword in her head she has to say at once.
So forth, as I have so many videos talking about all this kind of stuff. But anyway, now this game also having all of this localization, censorship, that is completely unnecessary.
Sonic is trans because he can transform into Supersonic.
And
Sonic's woke because Hypersonic has a rainbow aesthetic.
Makes no sense. Also, it just doesn't even look better, so why? I don't know. Am I missing something, guys?
Oh boy. Well, honestly, I think we set the bar incredibly high. I don't think... I've just realised. One moment. Allow me to just reality warp slightly. My room disappeared. Yeah, I feel as though we raised the bar, like, insanely. Oh, bloody hell, what is this? Never mind. Never mind. Maybe we haven't raised the bar that high. Look at this shit, boys. Sonic X Shadow Generations was made for the modern audience and ruined by censorship. Maybe we haven't raised the bar too high. Maybe we've, Maybe there's a couple of other videos on that spectrum. Oh, that stream looks based. We should watch that afterwards. Censorship is telling a man he can't have a steak, so baby can't The fuck? What the hell is with the childish censoring were these adults raised on Teletubbies and blue? Evil cannot create anything new, they can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made. They need to oh no! Look at this one. They need to get out of our gaming industry. Mental illness is crazy. Ah yes, because being gay is mentally ill, question mark? Fasten your ball sacks, we're in for a bumpy ride.
What's up, space pirates? This is your captain.
Oh my god, this guy is so fucking cool, look at him.
The ever-charming Dr. Disaster. And today, we have another example of censorship that's happening in an old game being ported over to a new system. Sonic X Shadow Generations is about to be released, and the title is being censored to hell by Western localizers.
I'm so sick of these people! You know! Oh!
In an effort not to
How is the title?
And the delicate sensibilities of the modern audience, who were never going to buy this game anyway because they don't buy games, Western localizers have decided to quote-unquote fix the game. Apparently, humor in old games made for kids...
Literally, hang on. So, before and after. There's literally no fucking difference between these images.
These people, and it had to be removed or changed. It's amazing to think that there are actually people in this world receiving paychecks to do this sort of shit. How can this be what their lives have become?
And I'm not gonna let anyone get in my way. I'm a failure.
So, as one example of what these jackasses decided to do in Sonic X Shadow Generations, and we're going to cover them all in a minute here, but as one example, they took a harmless line from one of the games in this collection, where Knuckles...
Oh, what? They took one of the 9 lines that the characters say and they changed it? Whoa, dude. Fucking pack the canned goods, it's the apocalypse.
Asked Sonic if he gained weight, and they removed that part of the line completely because if there is anything these purple-haired...
It's always the ex-classic fans. What do you mean by that?
And whales that have infiltrated the gaming industry hate, it is fat-shaming. It's too bad, though. We used to be a proper culture. We understood that fatness was unhealthy, and we prodded people into changing their ways. I really miss fat jokes. Those things were a freaking gold mine.
2, 5, 6. Wait, so... So you enjoy bullying people because they're fat? And you're annoyed because we can no longer do that. You know those moments when you feel like you just completely removed your entire argument?
Okay, fine, on our way!
1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna fall through the floor!
The irony of him talking about wokeism as he uses a rainbow background. I'm literally dancing for your amusement. How many other channels do that? Me, and I dance better. I'll do the fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3 dance any day of the week. It's times like this that make me realise that he's an actual human and not like an AI. Can we actually, like, get to the fuck... Is he just gonna dance, like, fucking all of it?
If you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, or X, or whatever it's being called these days. I keep a list on there of...
Oh dear. Here is a list of woke, DEI-infested games, game developed or published by studios that are woke, DEI. I love the fact that he's got, like, a list of them. It reminds me of that guy who, like, unironically went through all 100,000 games on Steam and found a reason for why all of them are woke. I'm not kidding. Someone did that. They went through all 100,000 games on Steam and gave reasons for why every single one of them is apparently woke.
Woke and
my Christ, some of the reasons are incredible.
EI infected games pinned to the account at all times for your reference. I'm gonna change it up pretty soon.
See, like, the reason why I hate posts like this is because imagine, like, the people who just work at these companies and they don't have any of the higher up mentalities or what have you. And what does woke mean? That's actually a good point. Let's refresh our memories.
And add a
Because I feel like people use this word so fucking much. People use this word so fucking much that I feel like it's lost part of its meaning. Woke. Beginning of the 2010s, it came to be used as to refer to a broader awareness of social inequalities, such as racial injustice, sexism, and denial of LGBT rights. Woke definition and meaning: aware of and actively attentive to important societal facts and issues, especially when it comes to race and social injustice. So when you think about it, being woke is actually, like, if we're using the actual definition and not what people actually think it is, being woke is actually a good thing. It's just that most people have forgotten what woke actually is, because people buzzword it for literally everything.
Sub list that I'm working on.
Like, how is being aware of others suddenly a bad thing? Like, they taught me that shit in Scouts. They were like, oh, treat people how you want to be treated. It's like, all of a sudden, that's a fucking bad thing just because they're different to me.
Games that I recommend, but in any event, my handle on the platform is Dr.
Someone in fucking VC.
Yeah, I've just joined.
I'm gonna say I thought I heard you. You sounded really quiet, dude.
Disaster 1. But let's talk about Sonic X Shadow Generations. To me, this game is proof of two things when it comes to the childless cat ladies and their worthless simps who have infested the gaming industry. This showcases how fragile these morons are, and it also just goes to show how absolutely
guarantee he's black under that mask. Just an
everything
observation.
These people touch turns to...
I just realised you can't see him because I'm in the way. Sorry, my bad. Don't want to upset fucking Darth Vader over there.
Complete shit. They make everything worse because they don't have the power to create. They only have the power to and to destroy. As I mentioned before, the game...
yes, they have the ability to... They don't have the ability to create, they only have the ability to destroy. It's not like literally every single Sonic game since 2016 has hilariously reused assets. No. You know, and is that technically not creating?
Talking about the Sonic devs, like, they're the second invention of dynamite or something.
What, you're gonna try saying that Sonic Mania's woke because they reused, like, 8 of the 12 levels?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what being woke even has to do with reusing content either. But
because apparently being woke is, oh, they can't create anything new, they can only, like, just ruin what was already present by, like, race swapping or what have you, which is just such a kick in the bollocks. Because it's like, yeah, does that happen? Of course it does. Like, it happens with Disney, you know, they basically just remake shit, but they force their own political ideology into it. Of course it does happen. I'm not naive to that. But you are actively lying, saying that it is everywhere. Just isn't.
The game is about to come out, so I thought it was important to show people what they have changed in it. If this was a game...
Yeah, like, because look at this. Like, they're taking a level from a previous Sonic game from over 15 years ago, and they're dramatically changing how the game plays. But, you know, they're not creating anything new, guys. They're just reusing shit.
Were considering purchasing, then I heartily recommend against it. If you don't like censorship, especially the sort of...
Yeah, the eagle's black instead of white. Yeah, it's censored.
Censorship where Westerners impose their weak shit onto Japanese games, then this game is not for you. But here's a tweet from Grums.
Oh, not this fucking post. It's the same one from the other video. Right, let's see what your fucking knobhead take is.
I swear, why do like all the anti-walks
that we found
like, I swear he got fired because of like...
You know what, fuck this, I'm gonna make myself upside down. There we go. Put me on the roof, there we go.
So far in this as of yet unreleased game, he wrote, they censored Sonic X Shadow Generations. Rouge is covered up even more than last time. No more hand...
I love how they say even more than last time, but they show an image from 2001. Like the same game where she was introduced.
He was fired from a studio he worked at because he was squandering money as well, that
in the
Grums guy.
face to a female. Can't have that. Fat
like, that genuinely looks like it came from Adventure 2. Like, I refuse to believe that that was from the original Generations. Like, that shit looks way too old.
Shaming is removed.
Which one?
Health
to be
and fit.
The right.
Yeah, the one on the right. That does not look like Sonic Generations.
It's not Generations, I can guarantee that.
That looks like Adventure 2. So polygonal. Yeah, it looks like Adventure 2, 100%.
This have been fixed by lowering standards. I can tell you where this all comes from. Western
not to mention, who cares if you can't see the hedgehog's back or whatever.
Time. Community
like,
coming in.
It's like, she's already relatively censored. It's like, you can't see, like, the only thing that you could see was, like, her collarbone, maybe, and, like, her shoulders. That was it.
Walk.
To say, but Sega still sells the old version, is hilarious brain rot. This is why you should join community notes and not leave it to the lefties. And at the bottom of the tweet here, Grums, aka Mark Kern.
Yeah, the game's being censored. Meanwhile, the original version is still being sold. Oh no, but it's censored, guys.
posted images of the things that have been altered in the game. This first image here shows Sonic putting his hand in the face of Amy Rose. That image on the top is from the original game. It's pretty humorous if you ask me, but now it has been
Yeah, because putting your hand in a woman's face disrespectfully is somehow amusing.
Placed by Sonic holding cupcakes.
Like, this is some of the most pointless stuff to complain over.
I don't think it's necessarily meant to make sense. These Western localizers just couldn't stand the idea.
I should get Puffer a rainbow coat, like a little rainbow jacket. There we go, it's a woke fish.
Of a male character putting his
chemicals in the water that are turning the fish gay.
I love it. You're cute. It's all the more funny because whenever, like, I actually took a photo of Puffer, and you know, like the Snapchat AI thing. For shits and giggles, I took a photo and I sent it to the Snapchat AI, and it was like, "That's a cute frog you've got." I'm like, it's a fucking fish. Like, you can see his fins. That's a cute frog.
But let's be
fucking fish.
Be real. If the roles had been reversed,
it reminds me of something that someone unironically said in school one time, where we were studying. I can't remember. It was one of the sciences, probably physics, because it wouldn't make sense for it to be in any of the others. And they genuinely asked me a question that made me just stop and just think, but not for the right reasons. They asked, "So when does the sun go in front of the moon?" And I was thinking about that, and I was like, okay, so for the sun to go in front of the moon, it would be the moon, then the sun, then the Earth.
The moon's just having on a holiday.
Now, fairly certain that would end all life on the Earth, including destroying the Earth itself, but, you know.
They certainly
I don't actually think you could even fit the sun between them.
No, you literally couldn't. It's like way bigger than Jupiter.
Just a slight size difference.
You probably couldn't
ever so slight.
You probably couldn't finish. You probably couldn't fit Jupiter in between the moon and the Earth.
You could fit Jupiter in. I'm fairly certain you could fit the rest of the planets in the solar system in. Like if you ordered them all in a row.
Oh yeah, obviously. But like if you like squish them together, you probably could. But you definitely ain't fitting the sun in between the.
Yeah, the sun's not getting there.
When
Not to mention, I feel like it would be a bit hot if we were a bit close to that close to the sun. Just saying.
Hot? Yeah, fucking.
But
reminds me of when we were in a geography. When I was in a geography lesson once, like, and someone like unironically thought that Portugal was a sea.
They thought it was a sea.
Yeah, they thought Portugal was a sea.
The Portugal Ocean. What are some of the dumbest what are some of the dumbest like geographical things that you've ever heard? One of them was from a student who didn't know where the UK was on a map.
Oh,
found that funny.
Opinionated.
See, like, I don't know what's more dumb, fucking flat earthers or people who say that everything's woke.
Is given any kind of power.
To be fair, most of the time they're going hand in hand.
Less.
This next image is actually an image of another tweet. It says, "Hey, I don't mean to be that person, but consider..."
Like, seriously, spot the fucking difference between these images. Like genuinely spot the difference.
I can't go into the hedgehog.
It's not a hedgehog, it's a bat. Oh yeah,
same thing.
So I was gonna say, I'm not streaming it either. Who wins in a fight? Movie Sonic or Monster vs Godzilla? I mean, Sonic's way faster, but Godzilla's probably too tough. It's a tough one. I mean, if you give Sonic Super Sonic, then he probably would win. But if it's like if it's base Sonic, then I don't think he's doing shit to Godzilla.
I mean, like, Godzilla wouldn't be able to hit him, but he wouldn't be able to hurt Godzilla, so like...
Yeah, and like, he wouldn't be able to like Battlefield remove Godzilla, because Sonic's not strong enough for that shit, so it would probably just be a stalemate.
Stop doing this. I didn't think they'd censor Rouge further, but they've even covered up her back now. It looks bad. It's impossible to put on with her wings, and nobody likes it. Stop being cowards. But, unfortunately, that's impossible for these shrieking harpy feminist types. Anything...
No comment.
That
You play the entire campaign as a black character. Just thought I'd point that out.
Reminds them of femininity, makes them...
Oh wait, no, that's why the game's woke. Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's woke. You're forgetting it's woke.
Yeah, sorry. I just forgot the, even though Shadow takes an L to Sonic in the campaign, but you know,
very
game's
angry,
woke.
and it must be removed.
Well, no, but you
at
see,
all
Sonic's a
costs.
representation of those blue-haired feminists.
People are basement dwellers. Mate, you want to see basement dweller? Take a look at Harmon Smith. Fucker looks like he's been eaten alive by his own chromosomes.
Oh my god, surprise, Marshmallow is right. It's also a Satanist game because Black Doom.
Oh yeah, the devil. Yeah, my bad. What the fuck is this video we're even reacting to? Exactly.
And here's the last image that Grums showed, which I showed earlier. The screenshot from the left.
Can I just point out as well that literally if you complete Sky Sanctuary, if you complete Act 1 with Classic Sonic and then Act 2 with Modern Sonic, which is how the game is technically supposed to be played, you literally won't see this dialogue. Like, it's not like the game's being forced on you. Like, you have to play... Like, the cutscene that you get is with the character that you beat the stage as the second time round. So, like, if you beat Act 1 and then Act 2, it will be Modern Sonic who speaks to the characters. If you do Act 2 and then Act 1, Classic Sonic will stand there and get a fucking insult from the characters. So it's like, you actively have to go out of your way to not play the game how it was intended to see this dialogue. Which is why it's so freaking stupid. Like, if it pisses you off that much, just play Act 1 and then Act 2. You will never see this dialogue. Which is why it's so freaking
that's
weird.
assuming they actually played the game instead of just watching one guy make a playthrough
exactly.
and then just...
Like, if this dialogue truly bothers you, just play Act 1 and then Act 2. For every single stage.
Saying,
and that's under the assumption that every character actually, like, makes a fat joke. It's like, no, it's just Knuckles. It's just Funk Knuckle over there.
Thanks, Sonic. You did a good job back there. Hey, did you gain weight?
Oh yeah, so so by your own logic, he compliments the fat guy.
Walk.
Like, how is that? Well, no, like, the other image is quote-unquote woke, but the point I'm making is that, like, even with the original image, it's like, he's not calling the quote-unquote fat character a fat ass. Like, no, he literally compliments him. So it's like, what's wrong with it?
And then the new version
it's the
skips
walkies.
all that conversation about weight. Instead, it says, thanks, Sonic. Now then tell me, where's the rest of my island? So yeah.
Yeah, Knuckles says something that's perfectly in character for Knuckles in the remake. Game's woke, apparently.
These dingleberries.
Honestly, just say you're starting stuff while pretending to be a Sonic fan and keep pushing it. If you're referring to me, then you don't know my channel at all. And if you're referring to this guy, then yeah, I get what you mean.
Just do not want standards anymore at all, apparently. They want to be able to eat whatever they want and not have to deal with the consequences.
Shadow eats shit whenever I play as him. Does that mean he's fat?
But here's the thing. There are consequences to actions, even if we ban people from mentioning them. These change.
How is there consequences? What changes in the story? Like, what changes? Like, I don't get it. Like, even in the quote-unquote censored version, it's like the skinny guy and the fat guy still save the day. It's like, how is it censored? Like, the only way that I would even begin to say it would be censored if it was just, like, Supersonic, like, modern Supersonic that fights the Time Eater. But it isn't. It's like...
Changes to Sonic were meant to appease the fools who don't want any more standards. And the reason for that...
If you play the game as intended, you play Act 1, then Act 2, in order, you will literally never see this dialogue. The only way that you will see this dialogue is if you go out of your way to play the game in a way that it wasn't intended to be played, then you will see the dialogue.
Is fairly evident.
And even then, it's like only Knuckles that says something. It's like the other 8 characters don't say anything.
Because these are the sort of people who need standards removed because...
Also, keep in mind that Eggman still exists. You know, like the guy who looks like he swallowed a neutron star. It's like he still exists. Like, they haven't made Eggman like Hercules. Like, no, Eggman is still a giant egg.
No, but I think you're forgetting he's white, so he's not Hawk.
Yeah, my bad.
It becomes painfully clear.
I just wondered what you think of Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is great. I like Sonic 3. Yeah, I really like Sonic 3. There's a few bits of humor in Sonic 3 that I don't like. It's mostly with like the human characters and maybe like the two Robotniks. It's like some of the jokes I've found a bit intrusive, but yeah, like the film for the most part was great. It's just a couple of the jokes, probably just because it's made for like a younger audience. You know, like some of the jokes I found a bit cringy, but aside from that, it's a great film. Eggman himself is a fat joke. Yeah, like, there's literally a line of dialogue in Frontiers where he's like, oh, Sonic called me Eggman to fat shame me, but joke's on him, I embraced it, and now Eggman is feared across the cosmos. It's like, what? Are you gonna try saying that Sonic Frontiers is, like, anti-fat because they made, like, a fat person feared across the universe? It's like, where does it end, honestly? After you watch one of JD Frank 20's Sonic X Shadow Generation videos, I feel like I'm not gonna like that.
That they are unexceptional people with nothing valuable to offer society. But
nothing valuable to offer society. It's not like they created like an instant fan favorite Sonic game. Like, the amount of people that honestly say that this is the best Sonic game ever made is equally, like, on one hand it's concerning because I don't think the game's that special, but on the other hand it's complete indicative as to what you're saying. It's like, oh,
just
they don't,
because, like,
it's like, oh, they don't make anything special, those wokish, oh, those fucking woke people over there are not making anything good for me and my country. Meanwhile, they make, like, the iconic fan favorite Sonic game. Like,
I feel like half the reason that the game's held so high is simply just because most of the recent Sonic games haven't been, like, of particularly good quality other than Mania.
Yeah, because, like, for the longest time with Sonic fans, it's like, the argument was, oh, the game's good, not as good as Sonic 3. Oh, the game's good, not as good as Sonic Adventure 2. This game comes out and it's like, okay, yeah, best Sonic game ever made. It's like, that should speak volumes as to how good the game was. Even if it's not my personal favorite, it's like, it is what it is.
To summarize, this game has been censored to avoid offending the very weakest members of our culture, and I cannot recommend this game.
So the weakest people in culture, according to you, are women and fat people.
The original stuff instead, but I'm gonna leave it there. Drop some mockery of Sonic X Shadow.
Yep, no worries, I got you, dude. Yeah, what are we watching now? Like, literally, like, this is what I mean. Literally, the first fucking video we see up here, the best Sonic game isn't about Sonic. Shadow Generations.
Yeah, but it was also ruined by being woke, so...
If we scroll down, do we find anything else about Oh, look, Shadow Generations is phenomenal. Fucking Penguin's Era, is Sonic X Shadow worth buying? The story in Shadow Generations is beautiful. It's like... Oh, that's my video from earlier today.
Sonic goes full sweet baby, Jesus Christ.
Oh, look.
Oh, feck off, I've had enough of your face, love. It's like... Literally, like... Oh, man. Sonic goes full Sweet Baby Ink. Black Lives Matter. Oh no.
What?
Do we watch it or do we not?
I say we watch it.
Oh, rest in peace for my remaining brain cells.
Probably gonna get a fucking community strike if we watch this, but... You know, sometimes I think Royal Mail is useless, but then I remember people who make these type of videos exist.
No, don't watch it, please. Let's endure the pain. Oh, boy. Why does Yellow Flash sound familiar? I feel like this guy's got a negative reputation, but I can't remember why. Yellow Flash 2, bad. Yellow Flash 2, breeding toxic communities. Yellow Flash responded to me, he's very mad. Yellow Flash 2 exposed in Trump rant against Reacher star Alan Richson. Total hypocrisy. Yellow Flash 2 doesn't understand why people think he's toxic. Yeah, this guy is going to be a fucking hoot to watch, but let's get some more context. Disney bans people from trolling Mufasa with Sonic free facts. Also, Marvel's new Spider-Man gets mocked. Is Yellow Flash 2 actually racist? Okay, so he's basically one of these YouTubers. Okay, right, let's have a cheeky little look at his video then. He's had a lot of bad takes. Alright, we'll see.
Sonic X Shadow Generation.
Look, literally the first fucking thing in his video is the game having an 80 on Metacritic and in the green. Oh, look. Like, oh, the game's awful, guys. Literally, we start the video with this.
So if you don't know what this is, what's a good way to break this down? So Sonic Generations is a game that has existed for a while. It came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, I believe. It's actually a pretty fun game. I played the original. It was them going back to 2D, which is honestly, I think, where that character belongs, but they had some 3D stuff too. It was one of the better Sonic games. That's how I remember it.
Well, guaranteed he's not fucking played it. I mean, he said that Generations was when they went back to 2D, which isn't true, because technically, if you want to be completely, like, blatantly dishonest, it's like, you could say that the Sonic Advance games was when they went back to 2D. You could say Sonic Rush. You could say Sonic and the Secret Rings. You could say Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Black Knight, Sonic 4, Episode 1. You could say Sonic Colors. Like, all of those games had 2D elements before Generations. He 100% has no idea what he's talking about.
Well, they're re-releasing
why would he?
And remastering it.
Hey, Axiom, how you doing, buddy?
And they're going to add a new campaign starring Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, what's going to... So, I'm going to compare this to...
Compare it to Doctor Who. I dare you.
Mario 3D All-Star. Was that what it was called? So there's a Mario game on Switch. It was also on Wii U. They re-released it, and then they added Bowser's Fury. It was like a second short campaign. That's basically what they're doing with this. This is what they're doing with the Shadow thing.
No.
I can't remember the name of that Sonic game.
But how the fuck do you get Mario 3D World and All-Stars confused?
Yeah, so how the hell is Sonic X Shadow Generations comparable to Sonic 3D All-Stars Bowser's Fury?
If you just look up Bowser's Fury, the name will pop up.
3D All-Stars didn't even have Bowser Fury. That was 3D World.
Oh yeah, my bad.
This isn't even not fucking game he's on about.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't know either, but then again, I didn't make a YouTube video exposing the fact I know fuck all about what I'm talking about.
This situation,
yeah, like you're not trying to argue that you know about the game.
Which is why it's all the more funny when people, like, during the Mario vs. Sonic thing was like, you don't actually know what you're talking... You acknowledged not playing Mario games. It's like, yeah, it doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about, because I researched them.
And also, contrary
to popular belief, you do not need to play a game to know what you're talking about. Unless, of course, you're talking about gameplay, in which case, yeah, obviously you should play it. But if you're talking about the story, or things of that nature, or cutscenes, yeah, you can just watch it on YouTube.
Except for Sonic Generations being censored for its new double dip, which...
I'm not gonna lie, I thought my editing was bad, but he's literally just spent the first hour and... not hour, he spent the first minute and 45 seconds just with one image.
Baffling.
I suddenly feel much better about my videos. Like, there are times where I'm editing my video where I'm like, oh god, there's not enough transitions, oh god, I'm showing too much of one clip, oh god, people are gonna be mad. And then there's people like this, where it's just, oh, the first 2 minutes, yeah, it's just one image.
Currently, being a YouTuber is the hardest career out there. You have to take a screenshot.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I feel like I should just not worry when making videos, because I'm like, oh god, people won't like the content. Then there's just these guys where it's like, oh yeah, Sonic woke. It's like,
I mean, yeah, if you ever seen like fucking, I don't know, like 2018 Meaningless or whatever, you can just put whatever the fuck in the background.
Like 400,000 people subscribe to this guy. I must look like Jesus by comparison.
Are really stupid.
400,000.
So,
fuck me.
400,000. 466,000. I'll have you know. Doesn't make it any less depressing.
This is when I first noticed.
Oh, steady on, guys. He's changed to a new image.
Back in October.
Sorry, he's changed to a new image, so I will.
Of course, it's about the fucking censoring of
15th. They took this Rogue the Bat character
I can't fucking remember her name.
Completely covered up her back. Which is
because he's on
why
about
are we
Rouge's
covering
back.
her
Why the fuck
back?
wouldn't he
I
be?
don't- What's the reasoning for this?
The amount of people that are simping over an animal is kind of concerning.
Why is her back taboo? But this is it right here.
Why is her back taboo? It's literally just her upper back. That's literally it. Hey, I don't mean to be that person, but can Sega stop doing this? I didn't think they'd censor Rouge further, but they're covering up her back now. It looks bad. It's impossible to put on with her wings and nobody likes it. Stop being cowards. It's all the more funny because it's like, technically all of the male characters are naked aside from shoes and gloves. But no one talks about that.
Well, yeah, because I don't cover them up, but that's why.
No, but like, that's my point. It's like, technically they are naked aside from gloves and shoes, but no one talks about it. But then when it's
if
female
they're
characters...
complaining about that with Rogue, then they absolutely enjoy the characters being naked.
The funny thing is you know at the Mario and Olympic Games, you know, like those games, you know when you do swimming missions as Sonic and how he has like the fucking, like the inflatable, what are they called again? I forgot. Like the harness. You know, like,
armbands.
Yeah, the armband. Yeah, like when Sonic has the armbands, no one accuses that of being woke. It's like, what are you doing? Sonic's wearing clothes. He's wearing like an inflatable floaty.
No, that's the correct thing would be that they're making him childish, but they're not making the women childish.
But it's literally the same concept though. It's like, like wearing clothes. It's like, okay.
Fellas, is it woke to wear clothes?
I don't mean to be that person, but Sega, can you stop doing this? I didn't think they'd censor Rogue further, but they've covered up her back now. It looks bad. It's impossible to put on with her wings, and nobody likes it. Stop being cowards.
Oh yeah, because her original outfit wasn't impossible to put on without wings, technically. It's like...
And there's more than just that.
Let's just ignore the fucking Sonic X show where she literally wears like a Black Widow style outfit with like a balaclava. It's like, you think that wouldn't be impossible to put on with wings?
This is something I think they're doing for the entire series, I guess, with her. So there's outrage over Bat back now. It's crazy. But this isn't it. There's more. And this makes
fucking
me
hell,
really
we're gonna get the Amy
wonder
stuff.
how much more there is, because the game's not even public yet, but there's already shit coming out like this. Now this is really stupid. This is from Learning
We'll get
the Law.
our third image.
Apparently, in the Sonic Generations remaster,
Ain't that second image from an old Sonic game? Yeah, it was literally from Adventure 2. Look at the polygons. It's clearly Adventure 2. That it's like.
Now, this is really stupid.
Who is Yellow Flash? Apparently he's an arsehole. Apparently he's had like beef with a lot of people. Apparently people have exposed him for being like a hypocrite and what have you. Which is just the type of person that I like to watch. Oh man. I think I've hit that point in the live stream where I've just lost all my energy and now I just feel depressed.
This is from Learning the Law.
It makes sense with some of this
Apparently,
shit.
in the Sonic Generations remaster, Sega thought Sonic holding Amy Rose's face was microaggressive and an example of toxic masculinity, so they changed the scene. They also censored Rogue the Bat. Nothing to see here, folks. Just your
we put
typical
reality out of
historical...
fiction. Why are they complaining about it being impossible to use her wings? Yeah, exactly. Like, again, it's like trying to apply logic to characters that defy logic.
Like, the guy who literally runs faster than time. Oh no, but we're concerned about how a hedgehog, how a bat gets dressed.
Yeah.
The original on Steam, as if it never happened. That's another thing I've heard. So apparently the only way you can get this game now is if you buy some bundles. And that's probably because they missed them.
Oh, so you can get the game on Steam. Oh, okay, so they're not censoring themselves. Gotcha.
I think they're taking it down from digital stores, which is a shame because the first one is still fine. I would imagine there's nothing changed to the first one. Separately,
let's have a look.
That's uncensored.
It's people like this that really annoy me because it's like an example where you could argue something like this is like Wonder Woman. It's like with Wonder Woman, it's like, why doesn't she wear armor all over her body? It's like, why does she only wear like the dress type thing and the skirt? It's like people criticize that. It's like, you know, it's just her iconic design. It's like it's fiction. Suspend your sense of disbelief.
Okay, you can't directly buy the original generations on Steam anymore.
It's in a bundle. I think it's
it's in two bundles actually.
Yeah, so you have choice.
Buy the disc too. I mean, there'll be ways to play this game, but this is an all-time.
And also, you can still play it if you already bought it. I can play the original version on Steam Deck if I wanted to. I don't know why I'd want to, but you can.
Question mark. So here he is, pushing her face back, and now in the new one, he gives her cupcakes. What?
That's not the reason why they changed the scene, because they changed Amy's character. She isn't supposed to be obsessive anymore. This is a good change. I mean, she is obsessive over him, but, like, at the end of the day, it's his fucking birthday. Like you're allowed to be obsessed over when it's your birthday. It's like, that's kind of the point. And if anyone was going to do it, it would be Amy. Aside from Tails, but, you know, not in a romantic way.
Ridiculous. Why do we need to change this? Just because he's face-palming her? She was an overly attached fan who wants to be with him romantically. And she was very aggressive about it. She loves Sonic. That's how I've always remembered Amy.
Well, you didn't play Frontiers then, because that's not how she is in Frontiers.
Changed that. Now it's just, she just loves helping Sonic.
Which again brings me back to the thing that I said earlier in the stream. It's like, I find it all the more funny that people are criticizing Sonic X Shadow for this, but they didn't criticize Frontiers, which did it first.
Yeah, because Frontiers wasn't popular enough for them to grift off of it.
I would completely disagree with that. It's like, Frontiers, I think, was probably the first Sonic game that made everyone take notice. Probably because of the music. Like, everyone lost their shit when, like, Undefeatable came out.
I mean, yeah, but like Generations is way more popular than.
Well, yeah, like Generations is the fan favorite, but it's like, I feel like Generations was more niche, because it kind of appealed to people who, like,
I'm about like the recent one, not the original.
Yeah, but that's my point. It's like, I feel as though like the original Generations was more niche, but Frontiers got more people talking about Sonic, because
fair.
So I feel like more eyes were on this game than ever before. And that's why people are, like, hyper-fixating on these details.
Like, she wants to be the...
But again, it's like, if Frontiers had, like, a load of people looking at it, like famous YouTubers, like Asmongold and, like, Moist Critical and what have you, it's like, if those people were looking at it, why weren't they saying the game's, like, woke or what have you? Because Amy's not obsessive over Sonic.
The most helpful person in the world,
And that's another thing, why didn't they say that Sonic Forces did that as well? It's like Sonic Forces came out around the same time as, like, the Star Wars trilogy that was, like, received with so much backlash. Like, I'm pretty sure that Rise of the Skywalker came out literally 1 year after Forces. So why didn't Forces get this treatment as well?
I don't know.
Same with Lost World, she wasn't really obsessive over Sonic there either. It's almost as if people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I mean, the first time
I've just realized, yeah, if you go back and forth between, like, the franchise, it's like she wasn't obsessive over him in Frontiers or Forces. She wasn't obsessive over him in Lost World either. I feel like the OG Generations was the last time that she was legit obsessive over him. What do you guys think in chat? Am I, like, chatting bollocks, or is that right?
I mean, as far as I can remember, honestly, yeah.
Because, like, granted, she wasn't really in Lost World for very long, but it's like, she wasn't really obsessive over him in that. She kind of stopped after Generations. Yeah, she did. Weird. And it's funny because even in Unleashed, it's like she wasn't really obsessed over him. It's like, yeah, she had the one cutscene where she hugged the werehog and was obsessive. But it's like, even in that game, it's like she wasn't overly obsessive, was she? It's like, she has, like, undying loyalty to him. Because, like, when the world goes to shit at the end, when Dark Gaia comes out, it's like, she refuses to give in to despair, and she's like, yeah, there's no way that Sonic's gonna let the world end like this. But it's, again, it's like, that's not really obsessive. And obviously you have, the versions of Amy in the storybook games, which aren't obsessive at all. Granted, it's not the same fucking character, but you get what I mean. It's like Lancelot acts like Shadow, but the Lady of the Lake doesn't act like Amy. So it's like, even like alternate versions of Amy don't act that way. My freaking god, I am on a spectrum today. Like, just really, yeah, that was fascinating. Yeah, these people really have no idea what they're talking about. Huh.
It was in Sonic CD, where she chased him around and tried to...
Oh, my deck's dead. Oh.
What was that? Was that you?
Yeah.
Alright, I thought that was me.
Tried to get his attention, and then she gets cast.
I just heard like a doo-doo. You know, like when you mash, like, click or something. Like the
Oh no, I was just trying to turn on my Steam.
Captured, of course,
it was dead.
By Megasonic, but that's changed, and here's her new bio. So, a young, cheerful girl. Hedgehog, Amy can be a bit obsessed about chasing Sonic. She even claims to be his girlfriend. She's an energetic go-getter who lets nothing get in her way. Well, here's the new version. A cheerful girl who loves...
Friendly reminder that there's no change to her outfit either, so you can't even say, like, they censored her outfit.
To help others, Sonic inspired her to be her very best. She's an energetic go-getter. The help of her Pico Pico hammer and fortune cards, nothing gets in her way.
Nothing gets in her way. Okay, so she's still obsessive? If nothing gets in her way, then would, like, she could still be a little obsessive? This video's so boring. I'm hoping that I'm making it a little bit more entertaining. I'm trying my best, mate, but this guy's not giving me much to work with. It's like Gordon Ramsay trying to cook with rotten food. It's like, I don't think I'm saving this. But yeah, it's like, it's actually a good point. Like,
I guess she doesn't flirt with him anymore.
Kitchen nightmares, more like just nightmares.
So here's a
kitchen nightmares, more like content nightmares.
Here's a 15-second clip from Dimitri Monroe, and he posted this right here.
You saved me, Sonic. I'll be sure to return the favor next time around.
Not really worrying about that right now, Amy.
Like, literally, what's wrong with this?
Oh.
So that's it. So apparently she used to flirt with him, and that's gone.
That Sonic's getting help from a woman.
I don't know what's going on with this censorship.
It's funny as well, because if you literally get a red ring, or if you, like, get an S rank or what have you, she literally flirts with you over that. She's like, oh wow, you got an S rank? That's why I fell in love with you. Or it's either an S rank or like all of the red rings in Chemical Plant Zone. It's like she'll say that to you. I can't remember which way around it is.
Ship. Like, this really seems ridiculously stupid. Putting cupcakes in there when he used to faint.
It's like, I feel as though I feel like a bigger criticism would be if her in-game dialogue didn't match her character bio. So like, if they kept her dialogue the same but changed the bio or vice versa, I think that would have been worse. But no, her new dialogue is consistent with her new bio, so what's the issue?
Like, when he used to facepalmer, I mean, is slapstick comedy dead? Because that's what that is. That's slapstick comedy. And they've removed that now because, well, it's offensive because he's silencing a woman. That's what I see it as. And she no longer, like, her whole thing was being...
Oh, yeah, he silences a woman. It's not like the fate of literally the entire timeline is at stake if he doesn't get a move on. No.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It's not like the Time Eater is destroying the multiverse. It's not like the timeline's gone to shit. It's not like 7 of his other friends need rescuing, including Knuckles. Nah, not like any of that. No, he just silences her because she's a woman. Yeah, totally.
Super fan that's in love with him. Like a, you know, like a girl to a boy band. I mean, he's a male celebrity and she likes him, so she's flirting with him and trying to like get his acknowledgement. I don't think that's a big deal, but now you can't even have that. Also, there's...
It's like, the way that he's describing Amy, the way that these people are describing her, it's as though she's turned into Shadow. Like, she's just, like, a completely different character. It's like, no, she's still, like, the same character.
That shaming scene got removed. Here's the original. Thanks, Sonic. You did you did a good job back there. Hey, did you gain weight? Sim looking down. Now it's been changed. Thanks, Sonic. Now then tell me, where's the rest of my island? Changed for what? So they took out a fat shaming joke. And did this improve the game or make it better? No.
Well, I mean, it literally didn't make it worse either.
This all just seems so unnecessary to me. This is ridiculous shit. And I like that it's not all like, you know, they'll say, oh, you can't see any boobs. Like, none of the censorship is like that in this game. So what's the cope going to be now on why you should be okay with this censorship?
Because it literally doesn't affect the story in the slightest.
Most people won't even see the bio.
What's the cope going to be now? Because
it's not even cope. It's like, the better question to him is, how does it affect the story? Like, yeah, the story is not very good to begin with, but how does it negatively affect the story? Like, how does it negatively affect the writing for the characters? It's like, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Are you gonna say...
It's like, by this guy's logic, Sonic Frontiers, Forces, and Lost World, and technically Mania as well, it's like they're all woke, because it's like they also did this with Amy's character. Which, if anything, defeats the entire point of your video, because you're claiming that Sonic X Shadow Generations censored it, but based on your own logic, literally every Sonic game from the last decade is censoring it as well. You see what I mean? Like, this entire argument doesn't make any sense. She was created and always will be Sonic's love interest, no matter how people deny it. Exactly. And she still is his love interest. She's just not obsessing over him anymore. Which I think is fair.
Oh, well, actually, I take that back, because I'm sure there's some furries out there who probably are into this. Never mind. Oh, this is just stupid to me. And, like, okay, so a fat joke has been changed.
But it's like, literally, like, looking at these images, I don't understand how any of it makes it worse. It's like, okay, Amy's offering him a cupcake. It's like, okay, that's consistent with her character. You can't see, like, what, 10% of Rouge's back that you used to be able to see? Okay. It's like, Knuckles' dialogue... Number one, if you play... Like, number one, you can avoid this dialogue completely if you just play Act 1 and then Act 2. So it's like, you can literally pretend that this dialogue doesn't exist if you really want to. And you can just do that. And again, this final image, the original version will still be sellable. It will still be on sale. Proving once and for all that the game is not being censored. Because if it was being censored, then why the fuck would the original be still available for sale?
It is getting delisted. Sega has already confirmed that the original version of Sonic Generations will still be available. Okay. Oh, in bundles. So that's it. That's the only way you're going to be able to get it. In bundles.
Yeah. So you're still able to get it, just in bundles.
And not delisted.
Also, technically, the only way that you can get Sonic X Shadow Generations is in a bundle. Like, the only way that you can get Shadow Generations is in a bundle. Is that a bad thing? No.
Bundles. So you can't just go buy the game anymore. That's crazy, man. And it's also kind of erasing the history. This is what I hate about digital...
How is it erasing history? You can still buy the original version. If you own the original version, you can still play that version. How is it erasing history? How do you show an image saying that the original is still on sale, and then you say that it's erasing history? Literally isn't.
Digital games and the way they do shit now, like not having physical copies, at least for the old games, we can go back and get the disc.
Yeah, I think we're asking them to use a bit too much critical thinking.
But a lot of these games...
Hang on. That is a false equivalence. You cannot say, oh, rewriting history is the equivalent to not having physical copies of games. Like, how the hell does that make sense? That's such a reach.
But, like, you can have a physical copy if you just download it.
Yeah, just download the game onto your memory stick or something. It's like, boom, you've got a physical copy, technically.
And like with discs aren't actually like nowadays. Discs aren't even like a physical way of like storing it. They just have a key on, so they could just as easily remote disable your disc effectively.
Yeah, and it's like most PCs nowadays as well don't even have disc trays. Because like most PC games are just digital. But again, that's not an issue with like wokeism. It's literally just a thing with the industry.
It's literally just.
It's like the fucking Switch doesn't have discs. They have like memory cards or whatever they are, like the cartridges.
Yeah.
It's like, is that a problem?
Like, to be fair, they are like the only ones
right
that
now
still actually have them stored on the
releases,
thing physically instead of like just a code.
That's crazy, man. And it's also kind of erasing the history. This is what I hate about digital games and the way they do shit now, like not having physical copies. At least for the old games, we can go back and get the disc, right? And it can be preserved. But a lot of these games that are going to be coming out in the future, and a lot of them already right now, don't have physical releases. And it's crazy thinking about that. Like, they'll just go and start changing games from...
I mean, Sonic X Shadow Generations does have a physical copy for, like, most of the platforms. And also, if you really want to, you can probably still find...
physical
copies of the original Generations, but anyway.
I mean, when did this game came out? This game came out in PS3 era. So it's been a while. So they'll just keep changing shit. Not a fan.
I love how these videos don't talk about the gameplay at all. They don't talk about the boss fights. They don't take any... Like, literally every single aspect of the game is unchanged, aside from, like, dialogue. Like, that is such a... Like, that was a load of nothing. Like, I don't...
I mean, you've got to get to, like, that 10-minute mark or whatever for the adverts. I don't even know if it was 10 minutes.
I don't even know if I want to do this anymore.
So, I've been playing Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Dude. Oh, I like this guy.
And... Oh my god. Yeah, man. Dude, okay. So, Sonic X Shadow Generations. This probably, like... I think now, what, the greatest Sonic game ever? Can we make that argument? It's barely been a week since the game came out when this video is coming out, but, like... I think we can make that argument, right? I'll quickly talk about the original Sonic generation. Sure, that was already one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. Like, from start to finish, the fan service is awesome, and the level design and whatnot, just fantastic. One of the greatest soundtracks out there you can find.
We need a good take. We need a good take. Sonic movies are weird. I mean, I guess, but...
I mean, they're also... brilliant.
Yeah, they're really fucking good.
Like, by Jim Carrey's own, like, definition, it's a perfect film, because he said he'd only come out with retirement for a perfect film. And he also said he didn't want to do any more sequels.
Uh-huh. See if we can find something else. Let's try to find some videos that are bad.
I've got me food I will return.
Wish I had some food. Sonic X Shadow Generations for the Switch. It's playable. I love it.
So we finally get...
The fuck is this comment? What is this? This looks interesting. Sonic X Shadow Generations is a bad sign. It's a relatively new YouTuber by the looks of things. 96 subs. Alright, let's have a cheeky little look at it then. What's the name of this song? It's the Sanctum main theme. Alright, here we go.
Got gameplay of Sonic X Shadow Generations, and oh my god, it looks good. I'm gonna be talking about the Shadow part, because we've been playing Sonic Generations base game for like the past 13 years. We know what to expect from
So this came out 6 months ago, so this was before the game came out.
That part, so I'm not going to be talking about it in this video. Shadow stuff looks amazing in this game. I'm not going to lie, the animations are clean, the levels look amazing. I'm actually surprised they bring back Kingdom Valley and that one map from Sonic Heroes, I think it was called Rail Canyon. That one too, bro, I was shocked. So the OST for Radical Highway Remix, that is fire. It seems like Sonic Team is blowing out everybody's expectations for this game, because we really didn't expect much from it.
Yeah, it's okay, Kirby, you don't have to played the game, don't worry about it. Can I just say what right now, everyone here, if you haven't already, get your ass in the Discord server. Cause I like chatting with y'all. Get in the Discord server, humans. We should all go into the new year together, like the fucking Avengers coming out of the portals, like all of us charging into the new year. We should all do that.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect much from it. I thought they were just going to give him like some mid-levels and then add some new story. I didn't expect all of this. Personally, I think the coolest things we're going to be getting from this is the new open world hub for his levels, and then on top of that, the new Doom powers he's going to be getting. It's going to be weird how they're going to shove that into his story now, because it's just so random to do, but I want to see how they implement it. And still speaking about the Doom power, he's going to be getting a skill tree, it looks like, for this. And all of this is amazing. It gets me really excited for this game, but it also has me worried for the future of Sonic games as well. Because to me, this game seems like they were so scared of just bringing out a standalone Shadow game. They needed to add Sonic Generations in it. And you can make the point that since Shadow's going through his past, they thought it would be
I mean, I kind of agree, but then again, the last time they gave Shadow his own game, it wasn't received very well. So, JD Frank 20, Sonic X Shadow video. Alright. I'll just load the video up, hold on. Sonic X Shadow Generations trailer review. Is that it? My god, this guy's videos are not very good quality. Is this guy just like the Sonic equivalent of Harmon Smith?
good idea to ask Sonic Generations, because they go through their past in it as well. And yeah, I kind of agree with that point.
Yeah, I actually agree. Let's watch this. This looks way worse. Just letting you know it's bad. When the game got announced, the trailer reaction, I'm guessing it's this one. As always, let's just take a little look to the comment section, first of all, seeing if,
This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
Man, fuck this trailer, man. Man, fuck this game in the ass with a chainsaw.
Amazing way to end.
You realize this is nothing more than a marketing ploy by fucking sake of Japan just to appease all these fucking Shadow fanboys. So here it is, Sonic Generations, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Oh god, I hate that story. Seriously.
It's a name, not a story.
Basically, Sega had no choice. They just made this game just to shut up all the Shadow fans up, who kept whining and bitching and complaining to Sega of Japan and Sonic Team so they could focus on the main core games, obviously. So yeah, so obviously Sonic Team did not make this game, because why the hell would they have the time to create this fucking monstrosity of a game? Let's be real, we know that's what's gonna happen. You know, because I could honestly see this being another Color's Ultimate situation. Don't let the CGI fool you, people. You know this game's gonna have bugs and glitches, and I can't wait to
surprisingly no.
Call them out on that. I know Shadow and Sonato fans will be eating this shit up. They're gonna
this fucking video aged poorly. I wonder if there's any I mean, it came out nearly a year ago, this video, so I got you. Newest comments? All the newest comments were like from 10 months ago. Shit. This is certainly an yeah, this video didn't age very well. But at the end of the day, if he's changed his tune on it, then it is what it is. JD Frank, one of the worst opinions on a Sonic game. What is this?
Welcome, everyone.
The shit?
To my channel.
Oh, I wasn't The fucking voice caught me off guard.
My name is Rhapsody, or quite a few of you know me as Uni.
Man, fuck this trailer.
Oh, it's a reaction
man,
to
fuck
this.
this game in the ass with a chainsaw.
Alright, fuck it. Yeah, let's watch an anime girl react to it, I guess.
You realize this is nothing more than a marketing ploy by fucking Sega of Japan just to appease all these fucking Shadow fanboys. So here it is, Sonic Generations, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Oh god, I hate that story. Seriously. Basically, Sega had no choice. They just made this game just to shut up all the Shadow fans up. Kept whining and bitching and complaining to Sega of Japan and Sonic Team so they could focus on the main core games, obviously. So yeah,
I have no idea what's going on, but yeah.
The Sonic Team did not make this game because why the hell would they have the time to create this fucking monstrosity of a game?
Well, because they can. And I think I better let him say the point, that one of the few points that I have a problem with this video.
You know this game's gonna have bugs and glitches, and I can't wait to call him out on that.
Well, first of all, you don't know that. And yes...
I love the way that this person does reactionary content. Like if it was me, I'd probably be like saying things like, okay, but I'd probably be saying like different things. Like, okay, if you look at the gameplay trailer, it's like there could be glitches. You never know. But like this person's just like, you don't know that. Like, okay.
Sega has a reputation of bugs and glitches in their games, but not all of them.
True. She speaks facts.
Knows that if this one will have it or not. You never know.
Shadow and Sonato fans will be eating this shit up. They're gonna remind people that this game is still pre-Sonic Frontiers, so why Shadow fans can still, be excited. Yay, your precious Shadow the Hedgehog is in a remastered 13.
Well, yes.
Does he hate Shadow? Like, what the fuck?
Sonato fans are going...
I don't know why you think JD... Same with Sonic 3 movie, you just want to see the movie 4 times, you liked it so much. I mean...
To enjoy that. That's their thing, and it's okay that you don't like it. Not everybody likes Sonato. I'm a huge Sonato fan. I'll just make a... I'm gonna be a little bit childish here, but what's with the video quality? It's so potato. And I'll say right now, which makes the rest of your opinions look more like potatoes. Just blah.
15-year-old game, like who gives a damn? It's nothing more than a cheap cash grab for Sega that they're probably gonna charge $60 for. But at least it's available on all consoles, and at least the Nintendo Switch
and PC as well. Can't forget that.
Version actually gets one, which is fantastic.
Despite the sarcasm there, that's actually quite nice, and I bet that's the only thing you do like about this game is that it's going to be available in almost all consoles, if I'm getting that correct.
Yeah, so here's some more information actually about the Shadow portion of the game. According to the PlayStation blog, Sonic X Shadow Generations combines classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and Shadow gameplay alongside a collection of beloved 2D, 3D stages from Sonic games over the past 20 years. Sonic Generations will now be modernized for PlayStation 5, 4 consoles, and Shadow goes on a standalone journey to explore his backstories and his abilities in a way fans have never seen him before. The ultimate celebration of Sonic gaming, looking better than before with upgraded visual.
I think this is great to hear because Shadow has not been in that very many games. He's only been in DLCs or as a small playable character in Frontiers. I don't know
what the fuck? When was he playable in Frontiers?
All the games that he was in other than his original, but I'm familiar with some. But
I swear she meant Forces.
I don't see how this is a bad thing. I haven't even played the games myself, and I wish there were more games involved on him. This has been a long time coming, so what's the problem? There is one particular part in it that really just rubs me the wrong way, but if you stay at the end of the video, I'm gonna save that best part for last.
It's like, here's Sonic X Generations, that'll be $60, please. It's available on all platforms, and it's safe to assume that the older game is gonna be delisted. I understand fans are gonna be in an uproar about that, but hey, business is business. Sega has to protect their investment. Same thing with Sonic Origins. When they delisted the older games, they have to protect their investments. You know, it is what it is. Again, everyone, let me know what y'all think about this, because quite frankly, I wasn't that impressed with the trailer. Like, yeah, it's what you expect, but again, you know, just wait till you actually get to play the damn game.
And there we go. You just said it yourself. But here you are complaining about how it's going to be so bad without playing it. The math isn't mathing here, and I suck at math myself, but even I can understand actual math better than the garbo that this is. To JD, if you are watching this, please don't.
Seriously, don't let Sonami channel strike your nerves. All his followers are suck puppets and bot comments. So he's only one hater and nothing more. One day he will go too far with his obsession, and haters and detractors just block and annoy him. Oh boy. This guy needs to touch grass already, bruh.
Don't take this into offense. I accept that you don't like Sonato, I accept that you don't like Shadow, but...
The worst part of Shadow's part was it's too short. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, the game's just ridiculously short. Fuck, why am I so tired all of a sudden? Yeah, that's an issue that I had with the original generations as well. And they could have added, like, more levels, but they didn't, and it was a shame.
I have a philosophy here. My philosophy is, you are entitled to your opinion, and a lot of the time, I do my best to
Ding dong,
accept
your
that.
opinion's wrong.
However, I cannot support your opinion when you don't have actual, like, facts to make it a valid
Yeah, I can't support your opinion if your opinion's
facts
fucking
behind this.
shit.
So what fact is missing here about this upcoming game? We don't know what it's going to be like, so therefore I cannot support your opinion. Another thing I have a problem with is that people act as if their opinions are facts. I've seen it a lot of times, and it's quite frankly very annoying.
Not gonna release until late 2024, you know, so it'll give them plenty of time to go over all the bugs, glitches, make sure the game is ready.
Okay, so there's not going to be a load of bugs and glitches then. I love it.
Let's see how they're gonna fuck this one up. I'll be surprised if this game doesn't have any day one glitches, but I'm willing to bet anything that this game is gonna have a shit ton of glitches and a shit ton of features. Just wait for it. It's gonna be a Sonic Colors Ultimate fiasco. Not as bad, but you know what I'm talking about. Let me know what y'all think, and I gotta go. Peace out.
And now I'm going to...
The thing that I find funny about that video, it's like, I 100% agree with, like, what you're saying. It's like, if he's changed his viewpoint, it's like, fair enough. But, like, the thing that I hated about that is, you know what, we need a change of pace. We're gonna watch a console fanboy video, because fuck it. The thing that I find funny about that is he didn't actually analyze any of the trailer. He was just like, oh yeah, the game looks crap because Shadow fanboys, game's gonna be glitchy, something, yeah. Like, he didn't actually analyze the trailer. It's funny. Buffer just flubbing. He's just chilling. Just having a good old chill.
Hello, look who's back. It's me. I took some time off.
Fucking love this YouTuber. Joe from Seattle is so funny.
For Christmas, but I'm back now. I'm like Santa Claus, but backwards. So I had some nice time off. I had some family in town. They stayed with us for like a week. That was nice. I finally got a Steam Deck. Mrs. Joe from Seattle came in clutch, which means I can now personally confirm that Backyard Baseball does indeed run phenomenally on the Steam Deck. I am also now officially the champion.
Does he have his carrot? He doesn't have carrots.
The universe and back.
He doesn't like carrots. It's a misconception by people on the internet.
Backyard baseball, so if you think you're better than me at backyard baseball, I don't want to hear it, Derek. Put it away, Derek. I don't care, Ick. I unfortunately did not get my Christmas wish of Backyard Baseball 2003 being added to Steam. They have 2001 up there as coming soon, so I'm still holding out hope that 2003...
I'll be honest, I don't actually... My brain's just gone to mush because of all of those fucking comments we've had. Like, I don't actually know what Joe's on about right now. I'm just enjoying it, though.
Comes along. Backyard Baseball 01 is still good, but it has a couple, like, fatal flaws that make 03 the better game. I think it really comes down to two things. The first one being that Backyard Baseball 01 doesn't have time.
The fuck is...
Family, maybe playing some games if you're not hanging with family, but probably, like, the lowest priority day of the entire calendar year to be console warring for no reason at all. So grab some bevies and eat a snack with your stupid little snack hole, because we're coming.
Bro, I don't have any snacks, but I have the wrappers. I'll just eat that. It'll kinda taste like chocolate.
Coming back swinging this week. Did you miss me? I didn't. Let's start with JTech, who tweeted out at 6:49.
Who won Christmas? Santa is... I mean, if you want the obvious answer, PC.
a.m. on the day after Christmas. I'm counting this one as a Christmas post because you know he was just like itching to post it. He was waiting. He had this one lined up. He made the AI picture here like a week in advance. You just know it. But he says, who won Christmas? With Santa Claus, with the PlayStation Blue and the PlayStation logo, and the Grinch.
It's like, why is Santa PlayStation? Surely Santa would be the Switch, right? Because the Switch is like red. It's like the iconic color for it. It's like PlayStation's blue, Xbox is green, PC is based, and then the Switch is red. So wouldn't it be Santa who's... But wouldn't Santa be the Switch, technically? But... There I am applying logic to console fanboys again, my bad.
The Xbox logo, which if you know...
I hate console wars, I hate I like every console. I'm the opposite, I hate console wars, I just hate every console. PC gaming for the win.
Anything about your Christmas lore, you would know that this is actually not a dig at Xbox because the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes on Christmas, meanwhile Santa's heart remained the same size. So, Jay...
Oh, based. That's actually a fair point, yeah, based.
You should probably catch up on your Christmas lore. I also like in this picture...
Bro, imagine outsmarting someone with fucking Christmas lore.
Picture that Santa...
I meant when I said what I said when I said that Joe from Seattle is based.
And is looking up at the hat like, god damn it, why?
Yeah, PlayStation would be the narwhal that says goodbye to fucking Elf. Like when he goes trying to find his dad. Like that's what PlayStation is, it's just the fucking narwhal that waves goodbye to him.
I'm wearing this thing. Why'd you make me wear this thing? Look, what is this? What is this? There's a reason I don't wear blue, you stupid idiot. That generic Eric tweets out, scare an Xbot, PC mustard waste, or a Nintendo drone with a quality product. I'll start. When did he...
I mean, like, I'm not scared with a PlayStation 5. Is that a PlayStation 5 Pro, actually? No, it isn't. Is that a... I don't fuck... Can I just point out as well? I saw a PlayStation 5 for, like, the first time. I literally saw a PlayStation 5 for the first time the other day. Those things are huge. And they're also, like, very thin. It's weird. Like, they're way bigger than a Series X. That's strange.
He tweeted this out, oh, 11:51 a.m. on Christmas Eve, wonderful. Because the PS5 is the only quality product ever made of all time.
I love the fact that they're talking about the PS5 and not the PS5 Pro. Like, has that fucking thing already been forgotten?
There's no way that Nintendo has ever made a quality product. How's the PS5 selling compared to the Switch right now? Oh.
Uh-oh.
I see. Since you guys really only care about sales numbers and hard numbers, hard money.
PS5 Pro is a scam. Yeah, no shit, but like, you know, PS5 fanboys love it for obvious reasons.
The Switch is absolutely decimating the PlayStation. The Switch 2 is going to decimate it again. But yeah, no, for sure. Let's spend Christmas Eve unprovoked just tweeting out a fucking JPEG of a PlayStation that's not even cropped correctly because it's not centered and starting a console war. Why? I mean, I don't see the check mark in your name, so I don't think you're making money off of this. You're just...
Look, I just find it funny that, like, people, like, even on fucking Christmas Eve or what have you, like, they're still doing console war shit. It's like, really? Really?
Doing it for the love of the game, which...
On Christmas Eve, I was fucking working.
I would almost respect if you weren't completely insufferable. At Marius PS Banner says, knowing Astroflop still struggling selling even after winning Game of the Year, damn, this warmed my heart. I love how people go back and forth on whether or not...
I love the fact that a game struggling to sell, like, makes people happy. Like, that is a sign that you need to find something called grass, and you should touch it.
Game can be good based on sales. You know what I mean? If a game sells really well, but you didn't want it to, it's
just
like, well...
enjoy your own consoles. Yeah, exactly. It's like, just because I'm a PC master race person, it's like, play whatever makes you happy. Just don't spread misinformation about other platforms. It's like, there was one guy in the comment section, I can't remember which video it was on, because, like, the person who sent me the comment didn't, like, mention the video. But, he was just like, oh, PC gaming shit because of this. Literally every single fucking reason was wrong. It's like, bruh.
Well, sales don't equal quality, but if a game is received really well and doesn't have, like, absolutely cranking sales, it's like, haha, the game can't be good, it's a flop. But also, better question, why are you thinking about this? Why are you caring about this? Why does this matter?
Screw the PS5
It really
Pro.
doesn't. It really should.
Yeah, like, the PS5 Pro is, like, the one console that I don't mind hating on, because it's just such a pointless machine. It's to the point where, like, some PlayStation fanboys don't even support it. They're just like, yeah, I'll just stick with the PS5 Slim. It's like, yeah, fairs.
And yet it does to you. I mean,
can I just ask, what the fuck is the difference between the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Slim? Like, did the PS5 just have a diet or something? Its storage device just halved? Like, what is actually the difference between them?
At least you have the fucking...
No disc tray, maybe? Like, I don't know.
Checkmark, at least you're making like $1 or $2 off of this, but geez. It warms your heart that a game that won Game of the Year is not selling as well as you think it should. That warms your heart, that's all it takes. Look at the Grinch. His heart grew 3 sizes.
PS5 Slim is slimmer. Yeah, no shit, but I mean, like hardware-wise, what's different? If you're happy about a game failing, you need to consider your life choices. Pretty much, yeah. You can build a PC equal to the PS5 for $500, $700. Well, I mean, yeah, but, like, it's worse than that, because obviously to get the, like, the optional extras for the PlayStation 5 Pro, like the disc tray and the stand and what have you, it's like, it's taking you closer to $1,000. It's like, you can definitely build a good PC for $1,000.
You should learn something from him.
And you're even saving money in the long term, because you no longer have to pay to play your games online. You get better subscription services, you get optional subscriptions, you get cheaper games. It's like, you're just getting, like, a much better product.
Nelson Gaming tweets out a picture of the Avengers that's really weirdly colored shaded for some reason. It says PlayStation players, and then PC players with a picture of a bunch of dudes in a shower. You tweeted this out at 6:49 p.m. on Christmas Day. So, on Christmas Day evening, the rest of us are sitting down for dinner with our families, or we're, like, you know, having fun with our friends. We're relaxing, we're doing something to celebrate the holiday. You're Googling pictures of dudes in the shower. Let's just think about this for a second. You're trying to make some kind of statement about PC players, right? Because, you know, obviously the implication here is that PlayStation players are like, ooh, they're like the Avengers. And PC players, they're just a bunch of weird guys.
I fucking love this guy.
Well, only one of us Googled a picture of
guys. Infern, like, I understand what you're saying. It's just that, like, the point I'm making is that, like, why stop there? Because it's like, you're not getting, like, for $700 or whatever it costs, like $699, something like that, it's like, you're actually not getting the complete package. So that's what I mean. It's like, if anything, it's like $700, like, yeah, you could match the PlayStation 5 Pro, but it's like, or you can possibly even surpass it. But it's like, you have a little bit of wiggle room. It's like, you could spend a little bit more to make it that much better. That's the point I'm making.
in the shower. Can we guess who that was? Oh, but hold your horses because it's time for the Doofus Club shoutouts.
Yeah, we'll skip the Doofus Club as much as I love it.
Okay, back to the video. Pure PlayStation says Nintendo folded the power.
Oh, feckin' hell, is this Harmon Smith? Nintendo folded the Power War once they were decimated by PlayStation 1 and 2, there's no going back for them. Sony folded Handheld War after the PlayStation Vita, there's no going back for them, still trying. Both are doing well and will never even try competing. Xbox is in an identity crisis.
War once they were decimated by PlayStation 1 and 2. Decimate? Wasn't I using that word before? There's no going back for them. Wait, so Nintendo folded after the PlayStation 1 and 2, but then the Wii completely destroyed the PS3, and the Switch is destroying the PS4 and 5. I don't think you know what folded means.
The only reason I don't play much PC is because broke. I mean, the most expensive part about PC gaming is getting the PC. Once you've got the PC up and running, it's like everything's cheaper.
But okay. Sony folded Handheld War after the PS Vita. There's no going back for them, still trying. I mean, PlayStation absolutely could re-enter the handheld war. If there's anything the Steam Deck has proven, it's that people are more than willing to pay a premium for a high-powered, handheld machine. Isn't the PS Portal selling all right? Are you paying attention at all? Both are
sleeping when you started this stream. Nice.
Doing well and will never even try competing. Xbox is in an identity crisis. No, Xbox is not in an identity crisis. Xbox knows exactly what it is. It is a service. Xbox is a service. It is a multi-platform game service. You may not like that that's what it is now.
Yeah, I don't have an overheating issue at all, which is actually pretty funny because one of my fans, I don't want to say it broke, but like it started creaking and like making a really annoying sound. So I just, I'm gonna fix the problem eventually, but like I couldn't be arsed for ages. So I just sellotaped the fan so it no longer moves. So I'm technically down one fan, and I still don't have an overheating issue.
But that's what it is.
Dad level, DIY job with Rift.
Is now. They're making it very clear. They're throwing it in your face. You don't have to like it, but it is what it is. And when did you tweet this out? Oh, yes, 7:26 a.m. on Christmas Day. Santa Claus literally just came to town and you tweeted this out. Okay, cool, wonderful. Let's move along. At Jamie Zach says, not only are Xbox games shifting to third-party status, but even their hardware will rely on OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, who are by definition third-party companies producing the Xbox hardware. They pieced out on these Xbot clowns. Tweeted out at 8:31 a.m. on Christmas Day. Santa Claus is in the rear view and we're back to the console war. Woo! But hang on, so are we losing our shit that Xbox is getting hardware from a third party for their hardware? Is that really what we're talking about right now? Like, so you're laughing about the fact that Xbox is getting their hardware produced by third party companies. Are you really under the impression that Sony makes all of their hardware in-house? Is that really what you think happens? You really think there's no hardware outsourcing like anywhere? You think this is weird? Because this isn't weird. It is incredibly common for hardware companies to outsource at least some of the construction, because otherwise you would have to build a bunch of factories and have a bunch of workers and have a whole supply chain under your umbrella when it's cheaper and easier to just have other people who already make the hardware for you. Every company does this. There is not a single console on the market now or in the recent past that has made 100% of its tech.
It's all the more funny because PC gaming is literally this. Like, every single component is made by a third-party market. And it's like one of the most, if not the most powerful gaming platforms.
In-house. This is not weird. Why are you thinking about this when Santa literally just came to town? 100%.
If anything, that's a good thing, because it's like, if third-party developers are like all working together to make a console, that actually puts less pressure on individual developers. Doesn't it? So it's like, and it also reduces like how corporatized your system is. Because it's like, if for example, if Sony Like, if they make every single component for the PS5 Pro, they have complete control over the system, and you have no say in that. And they can charge you, they can make whatever bullshit product they want, and charge you a ludicrous amount of money for it. And you have no say in the matter. Meanwhile, on Xbox, like, if a load of different people, all work together to build the thing, it's like everyone's working together to make the thing as good as it can be. It's like there's less pressure on everyone, meaning that the individual components can be worked on more efficiently, but also there's more pressure on them at the same time to make a legitimately good product. It's literally a win-win for everyone.
You got an Xbox. 100% you got an Xbox from Santa. I don't encourage dogpiling. I don't encourage you to go to other people's accounts and like spam them with things because you saw them in a video, but if we go to this tweet specifically and just reply, Xbox from Santa. Moving on. I got a couple more in me. Hunter says, the Xbox told me that Astrobot only selling 1.5 million copies is a flop because that's only 2.5% of the PS5 install base. Xbox plus Steam equals 163 million, so 0.613% for Stalker 2. I bought a PC copy and I'll grab a PS5 copy too. I guess PS5 has to save another studio. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's fucking confusing.
People weren't saying Astrobot was a flop because it was only 2.5% of the PS5 install base. Maybe people were saying that.
Oh, it's console fanboys raging at each other. See, it's like, it's all the more funny when, like, people try to say that about, like, PC gaming, for example. It's like, you have, like, nearly 2 billion people playing your games, yet your games aren't selling very well. Yeah, it's because there's, like, so many games available to play. Like, the reason why PlayStation exclusives are, like, so heavily praised is because they're the only games you have to play. So it's like, yeah, no shit, like Spider-Man 2, for example, is gonna sell very well. It's because what other fucking games does the PS5 have? Morons.
But that's not why I'm saying it. I'm not even saying that Astrobot was a flop,
At
but
least
I
they have
am
more
saying
games
that
than
compared
mine,
to
but
other
that's not
first-party
saying
Sony IPs and other first-party Sony PlayStation
Yeah, it's like the same reason why Nintendo Switch games sell really well. It's because, like, that's pretty much the only incentive to have a Switch, is for the Switch exclusives. Because it's like if you play...
Even then, it's only for playing them online nowadays because of emulation.
Yeah, because it's like if you play third-party games, you'd be mad to get a Switch, because it has dog shit performance compared to the others. So it's like if you
Even compared to other handhelds.
Yeah, so it's like if you play third-party games, you'd be mad to pick the Switch. But it's like the Switch sells first-party games really well, because like that's the main incentive to have the platform.
Exclusive.
It's not rocket science, it's just people are stubborn and deliberately misunderstand it just to prove a point.
To be fair, the only reason
Astrobot
Switch even gets away with it is because of how much Nintendo
That is
has.
undeniable. Now, you can make the argument very easily, I would say, that Astrobot shouldn't be considered a flop because it was obviously never going to be trying to hit those kinds of numbers. It's a smaller scale 3D platformer. It's not a...
You know what's stupid? The Sony point is out like you need a 4090 and another 40 series cards just to play high-end gaming. I mean, I have a 4070, but it's like... like a 3060 would already be enough to outmatch the PS5 Pro. It's like
a giant system seller like Spider-Man or God of War, so you shouldn't be holding
pretty much every single graphics card from like 2019 onwards would probably be able to beat the fucking PS5, because the PS5 like was already outdated like when it released back in 2020
to Spider-Man or God of War.
Like
or standards.
The Series
I
X
frankly
was
agree with
and...
that. Astrobot was a much smaller scale project.
Same thing with the Series X. It's like most powerful console in the world. It's like, yeah, true, but it's still a console.
Therefore, shouldn't be held to the kind of giant scale project numbers and expectations
really
of those bigger games.
For it, like,
but you're being a complete idiot and trying to make the user base argument. Which, okay, let's throw that right back at you. You're saying that Stalker 2 was a flop because it sold, what, 0.6% of the total Xbox and PC user base, congratulations, you've now opened the door for literally every PlayStation game to be considered a flop, because if they were released on the PC, you now have to include that 132 million from Steam in the user base percentage. Are you willing to do that with games like God of War Ragnarok?
Good point.
God of War Ragnarok is now a flop because it only sold. I'm not gonna do the fucking math right now.
God of War
But do you
Ragnarok
really
on
think if you
PC
put
now
the
anyway,
PlayStation 5 user base and the Steam user base
that's
together?
the point he's making. It's because he was like, it's because he's like, oh, you know, like the Stalker 2, like the PC and Xbox sales, it's like only 0.6% of people bought it. It's like, okay, well the same thing can be said for literally every PlayStation exclusive ever released on PC. Can't believe this is the final stream of 2024.
Together and looked at God of War Ragnarok sales numbers, do you really think it's going to be higher than like maybe 1 to 2%? Are you prepared to call God of War Ragnarok a flop because of that? Or how about Uncharted? Uncharted 4 is on PC, did not sell very well. What about Ratchet and Clank? How about that one? Those games are multi-platform. Are you still prepared to make the percentage of the user base argument for the sales? No, you're not. Okay, shut the fuck up. Holly jolly fuck yourself. One more from that generic Eric. I feel like
we need more Shadow in Sonic 3. No, I
feel like he was earlier in the video, but
amount.
I'm honestly just losing my mind, so I don't remember. But at 9:55 a.m. on Christmas Day, he tweets out to the Sony stables, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and whatever else you celebrate. Xbox, go fuck yourselves. PCMR, go fuck yourselves. Nintendrones, go fuck yourselves.
Be honest, have you ever read a bigger post that, like, for console fanboys? Like, have you legit, like, seen anything? Like, look at this shit. To the Sony stables, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and whatever else you celebrate. People who like Xbox, go fuck yourselves. People who like PC, go fuck yourselves. People who like Nintendo, go fuck yourselves, and for the love of God, leave the children alone.
What?
It's like, so you simp for PlayStation and everything else can go fuck. Okay, fair enough.
And for the love of God,
totally not a console fanboy.
Leave the children alone. And people ask me why I make fun of the PlayStation dudes as much as I do. People in the PlayStation base wonder why the internet makes fun of them. It's because you have people like this in your ranks and people supporting them. It's not just that the shitty people are in your ranks. You can't do anything about that. But the reason why incredibly toxic people like this continue to exist in the PlayStation space is because for everyone who doesn't give them positive attention, there are people who do give them positive attention. And as long as that's going to be the case, you're going to keep getting made fun of because this is pathetic.
Accurate.
So
you know what? I have a good way that we can end the stream because honestly I feel like I'm just getting tired at this point. Let's look at a stream from a year ago that I made. May take us a while.
Oh my god, we're gonna see some actually good content.
Fuck you. I guess this was a ending the year with a bang. This was like, oh yeah, I remember. This was when we tried watching, well, we'll see. Why'd the music end? Oh, I reloaded the music. This stream was exactly 1 year ago. Oh, tech issue. My mouth moved but no audio. Oh, we're having a tech issue. That was my Christmas jumper. I literally wore that the other day.
Calm down, boomer.
Yo, can you hear me?
I think Phoenix is in the stream. I can hear him. Oh, my fucking mic's muted.
Can we?
Spider!
Alright, give me 1 second. I need to fix some really quick. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You sound sleepy, sir.
Yeah, I just woke up.
Amazing. Hang on, we need the nostalgia and the music is just perfect. We need to watch that
that's annoying. I didn't realise in Sonic 1 that there's like a delay before your power-ups actually activate, so I just jumped in the lava and killed myself.
Legit, like...
Got the fucking boss music here in the stream.
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh, my fucking mic's muted. Spider! The fucking... the nostalgia.
Some really quick.
Literally a year ago.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Usual tech difficulties. Yeah, back when I had a shit ton of tech issues.
Okay.
You sound sleepy, sir.
Yeah, I just woke up.
Amazing. Phoenix is
Yeah.
sleepy. Yep, nothing's changed. What tier? Oh my god, my setup was so crap. Wait, we did a Mario Kart tier list? I'm the star, but like...
You did?
I love the top tier is... Look at the top tier. That's beautiful.
We need to do another Mario Kart tier list.
Mate, that's how old this stream is. I was streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Look at the chat. We have Uvescu from YouTube and Echo was on Twitch at the time.
And then I'm pretty sure the Yoshi egg...
Oh, Sonic Colors music in the background, based. Maybe. Okay, so this is just a bigger green shell, right? I'd probably put it in, Yeah, come in. I guess just side by side.
Yeah, the Bowser shell is basically just...
we literally named it. I love that.
Rift, when are we doing the Murderous Sonic stream?
Wait, you've played PvZ 2, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I think this is PvZ 1 actually. Never mind. We ranked the plants in Plants vs Zombies apparently. What is this list?
Yeah, I remember you not liking PvZ 2 much, so I was like, wait, you made a fucking tier list for PvZ 2?
Yeah, PvZ 2 is just a bit tricky.
Yeah, some of it is just like absurd.
You ready? Oh, did we? Oh yeah, I forgot. We watched we ended the year with Cyber Supersonic. The music just makes this so much better as well. Bro, why was it not full screen? I've just realised. What is this? What is all?
You never used to use full screen for some reason.
Did I never? What was wrong with me?
You always had it just like.
This is awful. My god.
Yeah.
What was wrong with me? Why did I not make it full screen?
I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I missed a secret level ring. Oh.
Rank Transformers eye colors. Oh, this was so... How fucking pixelated is it as well? Jesus.
Yeah.
Rift lost all the pixels to all the walkies.
This is so cool. I love it. Fire.
Damn.
I love it so much. Crazy that this came out a year ago.
Does not feel that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, Rift's meant to only be like 3 years old or something, I don't know, I can't count that high.
Yeah. That's probably one of the coolest It's all the more dumb when people try saying like the Venom and Cinnamon guy was like, oh yeah, that feat's planetary. It's like it's. I can hear me whistling. Fire.
Damn.
You can just see young Rift up there just looking so happy, and then old Rift here just even happier.
Dead inside. Oh, I was gonna say dead inside, but
and then next year there's gonna be a third Rift over there somewhere. Can I just let you? Can I guys let you in a secret? And this is gonna be like something like proper deep. So this is gonna be like, fuck. I don't even know if I want to say this because I don't want to end the stream on a sad note. It's like bittersweet, I guess. I actually, hang on. We need the right music. It's not really the tune that I would have picked, but it is what it is. Yeah, can I let you guys in on a secret? So, yeah, I've heard you. Fucking hell. It's not. We're having like salad for tea. It's not like it's gonna go cold. But yeah. Yeah. So what? Fuck. I don't even know if I want to say it because it's like it's so personal. But like when a few people in the stream know that earlier this year, my granddad passed away, and it was the first time I've ever been to a funeral, and also the first and one of the few times that I'm ever gonna go to a crematorium. And we were given the opportunity to stand next to the casket and speak a few words, a few final words, that kind of thing. And sorry for your loss. It's fine. I'm over it. Well, not over it, but you know what I mean. Like, the worst is past me. And I put my hand on the casket and I whispered the words of that song. And it was so for me at least, I'm Here will be one of my favourite songs from Frontiers, because those words were technically the final words that I said to my granddad. Standing here, the way ahead's becoming clear. All across these new frontiers. I don't know. It is what it is. So, yeah, that song will, hopefully, for many years to come, have a great meaning for me. But, yeah, with that being said, I don't want to make this... this confused me now, because it's like it's all one thing. I thought I was reaching for the top of my screen to try to find those tabs, but no, it's all just my shitty, setup. But, yeah, basically, yeah, so that song for me will forever have meaning, and, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it a lot. So, yeah, with that being said, this is the final stream of 2022. No, hold on.
2022?
Hold on. Which year are we in? Fuck, hold on, try that again. That is the perfect word to end the stream, just me forgetting what year it is. What year are we on? 2026, weren't we? No, 4. No, 4. Yes.
Jesus Christ, Rick.
No, that one was on purpose. But yeah, this is the final stream of 2024. So yeah, can't wait to see you guys in the new year. So adios, I guess. And I'll see you all in the new year.